The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Minister Philip Davis for deployment to Haiti. That was announced yesterday. And the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has also seen a 22% decrease in irregular migration this year compared to the same period last year. Later in the show, we're talking to Paho about immunization. And later on in Morning Blend Business, poetry, a poetry competition. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, December 8th, 2023, and this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Chester Robards. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining me. Also, this morning, as I mentioned earlier, we're talking about immunizations. And later on in Morning Blend Business, we'll be talking about the business of poetry, a poetry competition. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning.
Scotia is... Scotia credit card.
And in the overnight, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has received a warning order from Prime Minister Philip Davis for deployment to Haiti, according to Commodore Dr. Raymond King, who admitted that the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has consequently lost prospective recruits who do not want to be deployed to Haiti. He said, quote, "We have received our warning order from the Prime Minister that we will deploy, but we have yet to receive instructions explicitly in terms of the role or functions," King said during a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister. He continued, "I am providing that expert advice to the Honorable Minister of National Security as well as the Prime Minister in terms of the risk, the vulnerabilities, and my expert opinion. A year ago, we did complete one iteration of training, but we now have moved into a different phase because the environment in Haiti has changed. And so we're going with 3 platoons, a minimum of 50 persons per platoon. It is expected for those persons to spend 4 months duration in Haiti. Those persons have been selected from all of the main branches within the Royal Bahamas Defense Force." And the Royal Bahamas Defense Force has seen a 22% decrease in irregular migration this year when compared to the same period last year, according to Commodore King, who credited this reduction to strategies which have made it extremely difficult for migrants to land in the Bahamas. He said, quote, "In the southern Bahamas, Haitian nationals, we've seen a very significant decrease in irregular migrations to the Bahamas compared to previous years." He also said this during the Office of the Prime Minister press briefing. He added, quote, "Specifically looking at years 2023 and 2022, we would have experienced a percentage decrease of some 22%. That is 2,800 migrants versus 3,600 migrants for 2022. We are pleased to report there have been no migrant landings in the Bahamas for the year 2023, reported, detected, or otherwise." King said the majority of illegal migrants were Haitian nationals and added officers have seen a larger percentage of women and children in the apprehended groups. And amid continued concerns about the growth of shantytowns on Abaco, Minister of Works Clay Sweeting said the island will likely be the first family island. The island will likely be the first family island community assessed early next year by a government task force. The government created the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force to address the critical safety concerns within unregulated communities in the Bahamas. It is made up of representatives from the Ministry of Works, Ministry of Social Services, Department of Immigration, Ministry of Health and Wellness, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of National Security. And an RFP has been launched for Family Island's renewable energy microgrids. Prime Minister Philip Davis yesterday reaffirming his administration's goal to introduce cleaner energy generation in the Bahamas, as he announced that the government is opening the bidding process globally for the construction of renewable power grids on the Family Islands. At the launch of the Family Island new energy generation via microgrids, clean fuel and renewable energies and renewables request for proposal, Davis said the high cost of electricity is more than a line item in his government's budget. Let's look at international news. And the unemployment rate in the U.S. To tick up amid early signs of a recession. A monthly Bureau of Labor Statistics report due Friday is set to show the U.S. unemployment rate edged higher in November as the economy began to slip into a recession, according to Bloomberg Economics. Alongside a rise in the unemployment rate to 4% from 3.9%, the figures will probably also reveal a temporary rebound in employment growth thanks to the resolution of two major strikes, Bloomberg economists Anna Wong and Stuart Paul said Thursday in a preview of the report. It's harder for job seekers to find work, and longer stints of unemployment usually lead to persistent increases in the unemployment rate, Wong and Paul said. Our view is that a recession likely began in October. Job creation has slowed this year as employment rates for key working age demographics have returned to pre-pandemic levels, and wage growth has also cooled as inflation has receded. And the Palestinian Authority is working with the U.S. on a post-war Gaza plan. They're working on a plan to run Gaza after the ongoing war is over, with one of its top leaders arguing that Israel's aim to fully defeat Hamas is unrealistic and the militant group should instead join it under a new governing structure. Speaking to Bloomberg in his West Bank office on Thursday, Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Shatia said his preferred outcome of the conflict that started October 7th would be for Hamas to become a junior partner under the broader Palestinian Liberation Organization, helping to build a new independent state that includes the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem. Let's turn our attention to sports now. And for the sixth time, the Don't Blink 242 Home Run Derby returns to the Bahamas, set for this Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. at Montague Bay. In a unique format, professional baseball players will look to hit home runs into the sea. There is a twist in the rosters this year as co-founders Lucius Fox Jr. and Todd Isaacs Jr. scrapped the draft and translated the event into a Team Bahamas versus Team World competition. Team Bahamas is led by last year's winner, the first Bahamian to win the individual title, Bertram B.J. Murray out of the Chicago Cubs organization. The other players on the team are Sharif Nemore from the Miami Marlins, Sebastian Walcott from the Texas Rangers, Deshaun Knowles, Los Angeles Angels, Ryan Reckley, San Francisco Giants, Brian Dean, Marlins, Kristen Monroe, Angels, Paris Johnson, Los Angeles Dodgers, Toby Simmons, Marlins, Adari Grant, St. Louis Cardinals, and Chavez Young, Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading the way for Team World is five-time participant Will Benson of the Cincinnati Reds. He will be joined by Jason Wood, Washington Nationals, Josh Palacios, Pirates, Rishi Palacios, Cardinals, Akil Badu, Detroit Tigers, Lawrence Butler, Oakland Athletics, Nick Gordon, Minnesota Twins, Lewis Brinson, Yomiuri Giants, Brennan Davis, the Cubs, and Tamar Johnson of the Pirates. Fox is optimistic about Team Bahamas winning the title. He said they are taking the competition seriously. And several champions were crowned at the 40th J.C. Sweeting Table Tennis Tournament that wrapped up on Saturday at L.W. Young Junior High School. It was the final table tennis tournament of the year for the Bahamas Table Tennis Academy. Champions were crowned in the under 11, under 13, under 15, under 18 open and senior divisions. Organizer of the event, Sudan Kalfani, said it was a competitive tournament as the competition year ended. He said, quote, "The players came with one goal in mind, and that was to win. My favorite division was under 15 because that's the category where most of the kids are, and it was exciting to watch." In sports overseas, LeBron James scores 30 points. Lakers rout Pelicans 133-89 to reach tournament final. LeBron James scored his 30 points in less than three quarters, and the Los Angeles Lakers steamrolled New Orleans Pelicans 133-89 on Thursday night to reach the championship game in the NBA in-season tournament. The Lakers will play the surprising Indiana Pacers on Saturday night for the inaugural NBA Cup. Indiana advanced with a 128-119 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks in the other semifinal. Unlike the other tournament games, the championship game will not count in the regular season standings. Los Angeles' run to the title, James said, is indicative of the team's potential. He was particularly pleased with the defense, which held New Orleans to 35.8% shooting. And the Lakers also had a 59-42 rebound advantage. That's sports, and that's the overnight. It's time for your first look at weather. And here's your first look at weather for Friday, the 8th of December, 2023. Mariners and beachgoers are advised to exercise extreme caution due to hazardous rip currents and rough surf, especially along northern and eastern shorelines. Your general situation, high pressure across the area, will maintain stable conditions along with moderate to locally strong breezes, mainly over the central and southeast Bahamas. For all areas, warm and breezy today with a few possible passing showers through tonight. Small craft advisory is in effect. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas and 15 to 20 knots in the central Bahamas. Northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 3 to 5 feet near shore, building up to 8 feet offshore in northeast to easterly swells. We'll have an extended forecast for you later on in the show. When we come back, we're discussing some of the day's top stories. That's when Morning Blend continues here on Guardian Radio 96.9, home of fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Scotia is turning your wishes into wins this holiday season. Spend $120 or more on your Scotia credit card between October 25th and January 10th, 2024 for a chance to win an amazing prize valued at $15,000, plus 2 consolation prizes of $5,000 each. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank credit card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. Conditions apply.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
They coming! Dunkin' celebrates the 2023 holiday season as the title sponsor of Junkanoo Jingle, the Bay 5K. It goes down Saturday, December 16th, starting at 6 a.m. right at Arawaki. Bring in the Yuletide with the Christmas race of the season in downtown Nassau. Dress in your best Santa suits, be it wool, cotton, linen, polyester, or even lingerie. Then let's walk, run, roll, and rush to Junkanoo music straight to Bay Street. Form a team and register your crew. Junkanoo Jingle the Bay 5K is proudly sponsored by Tonkin, Oak Tree, IL Cares, Guardian Radio, the Walk-In Clinic, Radio House, and the Bahamas Humane Society. Register today by logging on to fourseasonsracemanagement.com.
Enjoy great savings this holiday on your favorite water, Aquapure. Now until December 31st, take advantage of Aquapure's Christmas coupon special. Purchase a book of 10 5-gallon coupons for just $37.50 plus VAT, regularly $42.50 plus VAT. And best of all, these coupons never expire. Be sure to take advantage of this great offer, Aquapure's Christmas coupon special, going on now. Call 394-7873 or order online at aquapure242.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are now inviting passengers on board for the new JetBlue CIBC First Caribbean credit card. Earn up to 30,000 bonus TrueBlue points with your first transaction and earn on everyday purchases. Plus, get up to 10,000 anniversary bonus points every year after. Please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/JetBlue for more information on where Blue can take you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's still. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices, on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. Guardian Radio is all over social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, I'm Chester Robards. Joining me in a bit, Stephen Hanna, I think. You can join our conversation today, though. Be sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/morningblend969. Leave your comments and read what others are saying about topics on the show. You can email us at morningblend@nascar.com, or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC. Text us at 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. Also, coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. I forgot to give away the text line. 422-GR96, 422-4796. I forgot to give away the phone lines. Call us. We love to hear your voice. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And if you're on the Family Islands, you can call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Love to hear from some people on the Family Island. Hope you're listening. Good morning. Also coming up in later on the show, we're supposed to be talking to Paho about immunizations. And in Morning Blend Business at 9 o'clock, we're talking about a poetry competition. But first, it's time to talk about what's in the news. And in the news, Stephen Hanna is here.
Hey, what's good?
Yeah.
We made it.
Poor fella. Poor fella, he's not awake yet.
It's a lot. It's a lot happening.
Yeah. So in the news, the RBDF preparing to deploy to Haiti and have gotten a warning order. I wonder why they call it that. Warning order. It's an interesting name for what they got to do. As some of you may remember, the United Nations gave the green light for a force to go into Haiti. And we had pledged our support to go in and act in some capacity. So I guess that is, they're preparing for that to happen. What is, I think, a little more interesting about this story is Commodore King, during the press conference to announce this warning order, said that recruitment is down, and he says it's possibly because of this, the fact that they gotta go be deployed. let me just find that and read it so that the context is not incorrect. So he says, we have received our warning order from the Prime Minister that we will deploy, but we have yet to receive instructions explicitly in terms of the role or functions. I am providing that expert advice to the Honorable Minister of National Security, as well as the Prime Minister, in terms of the risk, the vulnerabilities, and my expert opinion. A year ago, we did complete one iteration of training, but we have now moved into a different phase because the environment in Haiti has changed. And so we're going with 3 platoons, a minimum of 50 persons per platoon. It is expected for those persons to spend 4 months duration in Haiti. Those persons have been selected from all of the main branches within the Royal Bahamas Defense Force: intelligence, administration, operations, planning, and communications. You need persons from all of those disciplines, including interpreters, persons from our welfare unit, our chaplaincy office.
They need more chaplains.
Maybe. Okay, let me find that part where he's...
Where he says that
Yeah.
because of the lack of because persons are...
Okay, here it is. He said the force is struggling to remain attractive to candidates. What he says, quote, what we have realized, particularly with this recruitment exercise, is that is pending. We would have lost a number of candidates who decided to move to the other armed forces, because when the conversation comes now to being deployed to Haiti, it's a reality check for a number of persons in terms of, do I want to make that ultimate sacrifice in joining the Royal Bahamas Defense Force? And so for the first time, we are experiencing a struggle of being as attractive given this pending deployment, and I'm certain that it has a lot to do with it. That's disturbing.
Is that I don't know. Okay, I guess. I don't know. I didn't realize it had a lot to do with it, but okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It could have. But he thinks that it does. And
well, you don't need a lot.
And I guess going around talking to people saying, hey, this is what we're looking forward to, he's probably heard people
say, I don't want to leave the country.
Say, I know, but
or I will go to Haiti.
They probably don't want to go to Haiti as a peacekeeping force, or part of a peacekeeping force, or whatever capacity they're going as.
I guess I'm not familiar with what their recruitment tactics are. I'm not familiar with the promises, so I have no idea. I would think that for the Defense Force, they don't necessarily need a lot. They just need the best.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not overly concerned about the recruitment numbers. Like I don't expect the Defense Force to have like 8 times as many people getting recruited as the police force. You know, because like in my mind, the Defense Force should be a harder.
But he's saying for the first time, they're seeing recruitment numbers like this.
That might just be a general thing. But once again, I don't know.
But again,
you'd be more familiar with it.
Right. So he's saying the correlation is there that because they may have to deploy, or there have been talks of them having to deploy to Haiti, people looking to go somewhere else where it's less scary. I don't know. I don't think.
Maybe they don't.
Is it less scary here on the streets in the Royal Bahamas Police Force?
I guess probably it is. But maybe they just don't want to get deployed outside of the country altogether. Maybe that's it.
Do people? Is it that people who are joining our armed forces, do they have the wrong idea of what it is?
No, I mean, it's a defense force, not a offense force. So it's kind of implied that you would be defending a local territory as opposed to going beyond the borders. Like it's kind of implied in the name.
But this is not the. I don't expect a lot of people to even think about this when they think about joining the force. But
Right. I would think about it.
it's not the first time we deployed people somewhere.
Not even that. It's just like you're going out in the ocean.
That too.
So it's like you're going to be at the border anyway, at
Yeah.
the edges anyway. So, but once again, he would be more familiar with it than I would.
And I'm saying let's assume, and I am assuming that he is correct, that one of the reasons, a part of the reason, or a big part of the reason people, they're seeing low recruitment numbers of people are saying, I think I'll go to the police is because...
Are they? No, now the question is, are these people then saying, "Oh no, I go into the police"?
It seems that's what he's saying. Like you say, he's talking to these people and likely seeing their movements, and they're sharing information with the with each other.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that's cool.
But my what do people think they're going into the defense force to do? And also, again, if you're going to the police force, are you in a better position?
Yeah, you don't have to go on a boat.
What I'm getting at here is, do people have this thinking that the defense force, when they look at the defense force, they don't do much because we don't have much defending going on in the country?
I don't understand why they would think that, because I would imagine that you would, if you understood vaguely what the defense force is for, that you'd realize that their responsibility is a bit more, or at least a bit more demanding. Like they're different from what the demands of the police force are, and it's clearly more demanding. So it's like I don't understand how.
Yeah.
And now the question that always comes up is it that there are other things that are available for persons to do? Because the way that just generally, I don't, internationally, armed forces work, you get either drafted into a defense force like Israel does, like Israel and South Korea, you have no choice. You have to serve in their defense force or their army for
a minimum number of years.
Yeah, right? For I think it's 2 years for both of them, right? So you don't have a choice in that matter. Or inside the U.S., they're like, okay, we're recruiting people, but this are usually people who can't afford to go to college, don't have any job prospects, don't know what they want to do with the rest of their life, and they out of school and stuff. They go after those persons who's sitting at home 2 a.m. in the morning watching Cartoon Network.
And is that a good idea?
Well, yes, that's the ideal idea, because those people are blank slates. You don't want somebody with dreams. No, it is what it is. If somebody has like a dream and a goal and it doesn't align with what you want, then it's difficult to say, hey, jump on the back of this boat with this gun and go do this thing for me.
Well, I've said this several times on the show, and people seem to be like, I think there should be some level of mandatory national service or involvement somehow, right? Like you mentioned, though, the U.S. Army and I don't know how if it's different, like the Navy, because the Navy has some different roles that are very specialized.
Yeah.
But like infantry.
Well, the Navy is way further out that. Well, no, both of those not. Both of those are stationed further and further out.
But like infantry people who go in there, they are those people who are like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I need to get paid. This seems to be like a good opportunity, and I might get some money for college later. Right,
or I could start college now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean that those are the real recruitment tools.
Right.
Like, let's not lie to ourselves. No one is doing this stuff for free.
Yeah.
No one is in the police force or the defense force for free.
Yeah.
They're there because it's a job.
Yeah.
So it's like that. If you're talking about recruitment and making things attractive, there's a level of risk that everybody is willing to take for the right amount of money.
Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, you wouldn't have people smuggling human beings and drugs.
It's true. But do we understand? So again, and that's what I'm getting at. The level of risk that people think about when they think about the defense force typically might not reach a level where they think where they will be deployed to a place like Haiti that's in turmoil. So they never think that. They don't hear about it. They haven't heard about it for a long time. The people they know who are in the defense force, they ain't going. They got roles that they like. Yeah, but this light stuff. Come join. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying.
And they also then not listening to the news.
Well, I'm just saying, right? So do they have the wrong idea of the defense force? Because the minute the defense force says we're going to do some defending somewhere, you turn around and go, I ain't signing on for that. But you are though.
Right.
That's what you're signing on for.
Right. That's why I'm confused as to if that is if they just didn't panic and they just needed an excuse to get out the room. Be like, we'll go to Haiti. Right. So like because it doesn't really make sense. If anything, traveling would be one of the perks of the job.
Well,
that's a selling point. Now, and I know you said, but it's an area, but like we've been told, hey, that our guys aren't necessarily going out there to go, let's clear out this room. Let's go our guys aren't going over there to do that.
Right.
Our guys are going to be, I don't want to say the wrong word, but I want to say paperwork.
Real.
Right? But they're not going out there to go, they're not SEAL Team 6 or anything. All right? So it's still, it would seem to me that would be a selling point if that's the type of thing that you're into.
Right. So he wasn't asked this question. I'm going to get to this phone call in just a second. But so Guyana's going through something right now. Yeah. Part of CARICOM. They could call that's a war waiting, right?
That's a real conflict.
They could call on us as a part of CARICOM and say, yo, send some fellas. I looking at the size of their defense force now. They got about 3,400 people against Venezuela.
Yeah, they do not have enough.
They don't have people to defend their border.
Right.
Could they call on the Bahamas Defense Force?
They could. CARICOM.
CARICOM, right. And
everybody have to send somebody.
Exactly.
Otherwise, what's the point of CARICOM, right?
But, in the back of your mind, if you say you're going to join one of these armed forces, uniform branches, this could be it. This could be the day. Right. Any day could be that day. Yeah. So I wonder if some of the people who walk away just came in with the wrong idea of what the roles would be and what it is.
Did they automatically think that they're just going to be assigned to guard a judge?
Right. But that's my point. Like, somebody saying, don't worry about that, ain't nothing happening.
No, you don't get those jobs until you get older, because like when you're young and sprightly and could fall off a boat and swim back to shore,
well,
that's what they gonna send you.
Yeah,
like they don't let old men into the police force. Right? You hit 30.
Reservists.
Yeah, if you hit 30, you got to be reserve. You can work part time. Yeah. You can go help us at Junkanoo, or when we having a fun run walk.
Hey,
if you want to stay by there, you can do that.
I'm doing my part.
Right. That sounds like Starship Troopers, but okay.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, TGIF.
Yes, sir.
In the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
Now check this out. As a former member of the United States Marine Corps, when I joined after I got my green card, right? Mm-hmm. If you join, just a lot of people join just to get the GI Bill, right?
Yeah.
But if your unit is called up, if a conflict broke out and your unit is called up, you don't question your superior. You just go to war. I've been to Panama in '89 and I went to Desert Storm in '91.
Wow.
So if you join the service and your unit is called up to go to war, you have to go. You know what I'm saying? And I would warn those people who don't want to be there, just join for the pay. They don't need to be there because they could put you in danger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, like I said, a lot of guys tell me, I didn't sign up for this. But look here, if your unit call up, man, you just go.
Yeah.
And joining the police force, if a shooter come out, you can say, I don't want to go to that shootout. You sign up for the danger. And it all comes with, you know what I'm saying? So you don't need people who don't want to be there.
No, yeah. So
Yeah.
in a way, this might probably be for the
That's
best.
you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, a lot of brothers of mine didn't come back home, but thank God I came back home.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And I did 21 years, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
now I'm retired now. Uncle Sam take care of me. My son used the GI Bill. You know, I get Navy Federal, I get loans. You know, the military is good. And like I say, the countries around the world, like Israel, South Korea, Greece, they do mandatory. That's why the Israeli army is really not big, but their reserves is everybody is trained.
Right.
From the grandmama to the bit. They could call up a reserve in matter of hours. Everybody is trained.
Yeah.
That's why they are so good. Nobody really don't want to mess with Israelis. They are one of the best trained military because they're surrounded by terrorists. You know what I'm saying? If you join the military in the Israeli army, you will see some type of combat. You know?
Yep.
Hey, man, okay, y'all have a good day.
You
man.
too. Thank you for that.
TGI up.
Appreciate you. Yeah, it is true, and what he said is true, and what I think what you said, you know, if you join the force thinking, you know, that you're not gonna get involved in some kind of conflict at some point. I mean, every day you are on.
It's in the name.
You are on Amber Alert.
Yeah, no, it's in the name because it's like if it's a defense force, that means that you're defending something from something else.
Right.
So it's like the name implies that there's going to be action, right?
But I mean, when last have we seen action? And that's the problem.
We don't see action, and that means it's working. No, it's like okay. So I'm not as a pacifist and as a big old bleeding heart liberal softy, right? It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, we need to make sure the state has a strong enough steel toe boot to stomp on the throats of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not so delusional to not believe. What's it? It's I can't remember the name of it, but in Star Trek, like Star Trek has this whole setup, right, where everybody's flying about and it's a peacekeeping mission, and we're just here exploring. Yeah, but all of your ships have guns,
Right.
right? But in addition to that, the reason why the Federation could operate the way it operates is because there's a specific group in Star Trek, and like you'll have an occasional episode in each franchise that deals with it. But there's a specific group that their only job is to go around killing people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we focus on,
Right.
because that's not and the Federation does not acknowledge them. But in order for such a large organization to exist, there has to be somebody doing the dirty work,
Right.
somebody doing the grunt work.
Yeah.
We cannot be under any delusion that it's like you run a country, there are bad actors, to use words, right?
Yeah.
That are trying to do things in the country to the country, and that you have no means of recourse or anything.
Yeah.
The fact that we can exist and say, oh, we don't have this issue is partly because there's somebody out there who is either negotiating deals or acting on our behalf that we don't see. Otherwise, because so Venezuela has this conflict with Guyana right now. Do you remember that we are also have a disputed territory with Cuba?
Cuba, yeah.
Involving oil? It's like, that's a thing. And it's like, and there are many parts in motion that prevents that from becoming a thing. Right? And so like the Defense Force is the only branch, like we've had persons die in every branch, but they're the only ones where they were attacked by fighter jets.
Yeah.
And people were killed.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And so it's like, there's a reason their existence is the reason why we don't see the need for their existence.
Right.
It's complicated. I'm not gonna pretend like I know all the details,
Yeah, no.
and I'm not gonna be like, I don't believe that everybody should have a gun, but I'm not saying that guns shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Right? And so in the words of I disagree to call it Israel is surrounded by terrorists. I wouldn't phrase it like that. But just generally speaking, this might be a good thing that certain persons who thought that it'd go, this is work one way, this is just a free ride.
Yeah.
I just could go there, I get to wear the clean suit, all the guys could love me.
Yeah.
I could give her the excuse that I off to see when I really just say I want to see this gal.
Right.
All those people who thought that's what the Defense Force was, and they're hit with the reality of, oh no, if you join, here's the possibilities.
Yeah.
Right? Including maybe even, I wonder if he pitched them hey, Guyana is really nice this time of year. Have you thought about going to Guyana?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like and the problem is that we see this because it's extreme. We only notice and that's a problem with behemoths and human beings in general. We only see the big stuff, right? We only see the big explosions. If somebody gets murdered, that's a horrible crime, and we could see that.
Yeah.
But we don't do anything to address the smaller crimes of exploitation of labor, right? People are seeing, okay, going off to Haiti, this is a big issue, whatever, but the Defense Force has the same issue that every industry and every business in this country has. Because if you take it away from it being, these are men with guns on boats with guns and planes with guns defending the borders, and just say, this is a person who works at a fast food restaurant. This person came here and they just thought, I'm doing this for money. I didn't realize I had to deal with customer service as a cashier.
Right.
There's a disconnect between what people expect to have to do when they go to these jobs, and I don't know if the jobs are necessarily informing them fully and completely. And so this is a good thing. Let's weed out the persons who don't know what they're supposed to be doing, so we don't want as bad a service from the Defense Force as we get from the chicken shack.
So that's a great point, and that also boils down to training, and just like the caller before said, you can train someone to if they have a terrible trigger finger aim to correct that,
or you put them in a place where they'll be better suited,
or that. Yeah.
Right. And I could tell you off the bat, training, orientation does not happen across the board in this country.
In the way it should.
I dare say.
We might have a conversation one day.
You might have one individual from a small business say, I did orientation for my new employees. But when we're talking about these large organizations, they will tell you specifically you are a cog in a wheel. If your job is to do this, they tell you that and nothing else. Yeah. And they don't tell you this is who you go to if you need assistance. Yeah. This person over here does that. There's no cohesion within the business.
Let's try to take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, what I think the question needs to be asked is should Bahamian Force be going to Haiti? You know, and that call about Israel being surrounded by terrorists. Israel is a terrorist state. You understand me? And their might is being aided by the rest, the so-called rest. You understand me? And I feel that the Haitian Bahamians is them who need to take more interest in Haiti. You understand me? If some Bahamian force need to go there, any type, it should be the Haitian Bahamians with the aid of the Bahamian government.
I mean,
No. And then that Venezuela thing, Guyana. Yeah. Well, we rather than having guests from that, we need to have guests from. We need to know Venezuela side. You know, the treaty from back then. You know, who signed the treaty? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a good treaty signed. We need more details before we pick sides, especially when it comes to people that the rest support. We know who these people are, and our governments they need to make a stand. They need to say something on the situation in Gaza. I mean, people seem very selfish to me. The whole Caribbean seems very selfish. You know what I'm saying? We're at demonstration and like our support. You know what I'm saying? For humanity. Thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say the issue is like I think the caller would very much disagree if our government were to have to pick a side between Israel and Palestine. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. The issue with Guyana and Venezuela is this is a line grab. This has 100% to do with oil.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with anything else. This has nothing. This is not a matter of we want this because this is a cultural significance. This is a heritage thing. We're talking about something over 100 years ago.
And it's not a new conversation between them.
No, and I think it's like they signed it, and they're like, well, we would like to disregard it. How do you guys feel about us disregarding it? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to undo old things or whatever, all right, then the idea of any Guyana, French, English, Spanish, Portuguese Guyana, would be non-existent, right? The reason why there are different types of Guyana is because the colonial powers came down and split it up.
Well, also, it's interesting, when you pick a fight on this side of the world, you must have friends with big muscles.
Well, it really, it's like there are only two powers on this side of the world, right? And South America, for as long as every time they get to a certain point, right? It's like it's only going to go so far.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if the United States isn't on your side and if Canada isn't on your side, which they won't be unless the United States is on your side.
Right.
Then it's like this, at most you'll have an internal civil war or strife, but you're not going to be able to go knock somebody else off.
Yeah. Also, who's your boy? Who backing you? Who?
And then, see, now this is the real issue with the Venezuela conflict, right? Is that didn't the United States ease up on something with them recently?
What was that?
I think didn't they have oil sanctions on them or gas? So it was something to do with right where they eased up on them before this, and so now it's like, is this going to interfere with that?
Right.
All right, and so it is not as simple as this person going and doing this or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, everything there is. If you ask Venezuela why they want this, they're going to say, well, we don't respect this treaty or whatever.
Right.
But if you gave it to them a year from now, you're going to see giant pipelines and stuff because it's 100% for the oil.
Absolutely. Let's take some more of these calls. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Fine. Listen, man, I might be behind the 8 ball, but did they resolve the issue with the cable situation with the being banned for the subscribers, people watching the football? Has they resolved that matter?
I haven't seen a resolution.
Anyhow, I'll leave my number with the producer. There's other options, okay?
All right.
I'll leave it, and they can call me.
Okay.
All right? And you too, you guys. Just call me.
No
Tell the
problem.
producer, take my number.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Erica sent a note.
A note, yeah. Let's take another call here. Lots of calls coming in. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Good morning, hello.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right. That's Mr. Chester Robo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning. How you doing, man?
Good.
I see y'all discussing this ID situation and what Commodore Raymond King said.
Yes.
But I agree with that last caller, the caller for the last. ID is the country had problem probably hundreds of years now, man. Remember now, we don't have an army. We have a defense force. Okay.
For all intent and
defense
purposes.
Force started in 1980. Farmers don't have an army. We need people to come and defend us if something was to happen here. Now we can send a couple defenses also down to Haiti to fight. But I spent 35 years in the police force. I love my country, but if they did try that foolishness when I was there, I wasn't going either. You understand, Chester?
Nope.
Problem, man. Let them people fight their war themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, the difference would be, at that point, you wouldn't have been prepared for that. That's why you joined the police force and not the defense force.
Yes, I the police force, yeah.
Right.
But how do you send somebody to I can stand somebody to Haiti, man, Defense Force. You're not not trained. You're not an army, or you're not a army person, or Air Force, or military.
Yeah, you are military. Defense Force is just.
I mean, you're military, but you're not trained. You're not fully an army.
No, but understand.
We don't have army.
The term Army and Defense Force are interchangeable in many regions.
Yes, I know. The Defense Force, they have the trained to do a lot like what persons who in the Army or Air Force or those other military in the United States do. But they shouldn't concentrate on that. The Foreign Affairs Minister, who started this foolishness, they should send them down there. Then they see how it is. The people, Rochester, the people throwing tire over your head, and then they light you a fire, setting you a fire. Huh? That can't happen, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right?
Pardon me?
So here's the thing, right? If you want to address the issue before it becomes your issue, right? Sometimes you have to go to the source, right? If you want cheaper food, you could buy it retail, you could buy it wholesale, or you could go to the manufacturer, right? And if you go to the manufacturer, sometimes the manufacturer will say, yeah, man, I'd sell you this case at this price, and it's cheaper than you'd buy it at retail, 111, right?
You're trying to save.
I'm saying that in this situation, if the conflict continues, the conflict is affecting us, right? Because it's displacing people from Haiti, right? It is now our issue because if we have the ability to assist, to help the persons in Haiti, to help stabilize their government, to help stabilize what's going on over there, then it's going to, we'll feel the effects of that where it helps stabilize over here. The people who will be coming for solely economic reasons as opposed to they're fleeing the chance of being murdered, right? Yeah. And also there's commerce between Haiti and the Bahamas, right? I don't know if you go to the Family Islands or if you look closely.
I grew up on Long Island. Sometimes those boats used to be up off Southern Peninsula around Gardens, like where
right.
They up around there. They used to come to the Bahamas regular.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And the further south you go, like the commerce is a different. The commerce is there, but also in addition, if you look at a lot of our airlines, they offer direct flights. You look at all the telecommunication companies, they offer packages to call back and forth. These things are going to affect us economically.
I know. It affecting us, right?
Right. And
but
so
we having more problem with the illegals who come in here.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying
what
that
the country that was Kenya, or which country in Africa was getting them ready to go?
Kenya.
Yeah, and they put the case in the High Court.
Yeah, but I think
nobody going from Kenya yet.
No, but they're moving forward with that now.
Nobody going there, and Kenya has an army. All those countries in Africa have their own army.
Well, caller, we got to move on, but thank you for the call. But the point is, we part of CARICOM, and we can't just kind of say no.
Right. And if we want to help,
and we like you said,
if we have the ability to help, and this is going to help us in the long run.
Yeah.
So we have to. If you sit down and do nothing, then 10 years from now.
Right.
We can't be complaining saying what's happening.
But like you said, we can't have it both ways. We can't want trade, friendship, commerce, and all this stuff with our Caribbean neighbors, and as a bloc, not come to each other's aid when there's problems.
And then also
we're like the NATO of the Caribbean, CARICOM.
Because they're doing a horrible job of trade, but so it must be NATO. It must be NATO.
Yeah.
But and then like if you. I beg you, Leaf, to talk to the evil capitalists, right? If you want to continue, you can't be out here exploiting labor left, right, and center, and then not be willing to contribute to where that labor is coming from.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous, right? We need. I had this conversation yesterday with Aaron. We need a better class of evil geniuses. We need better villains in our country, right? You cannot want this person to do this for you, do that for you, do this for you, that, and then it's like, and their hometown is on fire, it's burning down, and you're like, I won't send nobody.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's try to take this last call before we go, and I'll read some of these text messages before we go to the break. Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Caller, you there? No? All right. This person says, good morning. I think low recruitment is a combination of things. Low morale on the force. The pay is not great for the demand. Persons are not eligible enough. The young people are going elsewhere. The force is not what it once was. Family members talk. Okay?
Now, hold on. If you are not eligible...
I don't know what...
To get on the armed forces, where are you going?
I don't know. This person says, good morning. Let's call it what it is. We have a lot of cowards who are more interested in getting paid for minimum work and more talk. Okay. Do the applicants understand that the career in RBDF or RBPF is one that their lives are possibly put at risk? Do these applying specifically to the RBDF is a military one of which those that are joining are mandated to go where the government instructs them to go, or do they just want a job? And that's the question, right? This person says, good morning. They are signing on to defend our borders, though. They are not willing to shed their blood on another soil for what seems like an intractable problem. Same as Guyana defending their own borders. Neither country has an army. We shouldn't be going. The difference between the U.S. Army and the Defense Force is the varied, vigorous types of training the soldiers are subjected to, yet Vietnam showed them. People say that.
No, you guys are conflating a lot of different things.
But people say that, but the minute somebody start poking fingers at the Bahamas, we go and ask for somebody else to come shed blood on our soil, right?
First, immediately. And then the other thing is this idea of shedding blood on somebody else's soil is not. You know that there are Bahamians that were working in Haiti up until this conflict and had to be recalled home because we have a presence there. All right? It's not a matter of the Bahamas has nothing going on over there. This is, you are helping Bahamian interests by sending the Defense Force there. All right? You cannot just solely think of this as we're going out of our way to help somebody who ain't doing nothing for us.
Yeah.
We're doing something for somebody who is doing something for us as well.
Yeah.
But also this is benefiting us directly.
Yeah. This person says, if the entire Defense Force had to go to war, okay, but if only 50 or 100 are going, I'd want to send my crack team. You send the SEALs in for these types of missions. I would not. Would not send out boys who just graduated from high school to Haiti. Well, they're not doing that, and
definitely not. And it's not. This is
the
not
mission. Is not. Yeah, this is
not. They're not.
That's not the mission.
Right. Their mission is not that. Their mission is going to be, hey guys, watch this room over here.
Yeah. So they're not going as an army per se.
No.
They're going to help the police the Haiti police force.
Yeah.
Doing their job.
And then the thing is, that's why also we have Kenya leading it.
Yeah.
As opposed to any of the CARICOM nations leading it. Because Kenya's force is going to come in with they're going to be the brunt of it. But also, and then people keep on saying, oh, Haiti is an intractable problem. I invite you, through whatever source you wish, look at the history of Haiti from 1808, 1801 to now, and read carefully about why did it happen? What happened here? What happened here? All right, and realize that it's not intractable. It's like there's things happening, guys. So it's like it is slightly more complicated. Not very much more complicated, but slightly more complicated than just saying Haiti will never have peace.
Right. This text is also saying, what you're saying is we are the Fellowship of the Ring of the Caribbean. They didn't want to go to war either. Only the elves showed up. Then Aragon had to go find an army of the dead to fight people.
Yep. I don't remember.
Basically.
The movie is very long. I can't remember.
Good morning. As Stephen speaks about the professional role and duties of a Defense Force Marine, he should be careful with his choice of words. These Marines defend our borders. Respectfully, sir, be fair in your discourse. When was he not fair?
I hope I was. Did you mean when I said people think that the only thing that they do is hang around and
maybe people think that?
I'm saying people think that.
I'm saying people think that too.
Right, and I'm saying that clearly that is not the case. They're out here doing stuff, right? And their role and their responsibility is important.
Yeah.
To the upkeep of the country. So it's like you can't just have random scallywags on the Defense Force. So and in my estimation, my thought is that the fact that there are people who are dissuaded from this level of responsibility. Because the thing is, Chester, this isn't even a direct conflict with us. Right. Imagine if tomorrow somebody wake up and say, you know, we really want that key that we think oil underneath. Yeah. And they go there and they plant a flag there and they start doing stuff and they start shooting at boats that go too close to it or whatever. You want those people who scared to go to Haiti today to be on the front line for that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because those people ain't gonna be the ones. So it's like this is the proving ground. This is the trying time. Like there's certain people that you want around for certain things, and those will not be those people.
Right.
All right. So if that is what offended you, then you will have to remain offended. Because
let's go to the break. Let's go to the break, and we will be back with more on this after.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
It's $1 million Christmas and Everybody Wins is hooking you up. From December 1st to December 29th, you can win cash giveaways. Get into the cash vault, spin and win, and take advantage of other random raffle drawers. Prizes like mortgage payments, rent payments, utility bills cleared, cold cash, and more. To enter, you must sign up and get a verified account and simply spend $20 or more and you're in. To be eligible, you must be 18 and over. It's $1 million Christmas with Everybody Wins. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for your Morning Blend Traffic Alert. This segment of Morning Blend brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. And in traffic around the island, your hot spots are just where you thought they would be. St. Milo Butler actually not as bad at this hour. This morning, Fire Trail Road starting to build up at the intersection there with St. Milo Butler Highway at the roundabout. So you go in there, you want to get there very soon. Gladstone Road looking okay this morning at this hour. The traffic is starting to build up at the roundabout at John F. Kennedy Drive in all directions, actually. So you want to get there as soon as possible if you have to take that route. Seems like something going on in the westbound lane over near Goodman's Bay at the roundabout there by Breezes. Not sure what's happening there. And on Easton Road, things not looking too bad at the moment. Actually, things looking pretty good. And Blue Hill Road, traffic is building on the hill as you approach Independence. Traffic is still flowing on Carmichael Road at the intersection of Blue Hill Road. So if you're taking that route, you want to get out now to have a slightly easier commute. This segment of Morning Blend has been brought to you by RBC. Learn more about it. rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Now it's time for a second look at weather. You stuck in traffic? Wasting expensive gas? Easy Car Sales invites you to take a test drive in an electric vehicle today. Zero emissions, maximum excitement. Visit easy242.com and find out how you can turn your daily commute into a joyride. In weather, your general situation, a cool and relatively dry air mass will maintain stable conditions across the area. Meanwhile, a ridge of high pressure continues to generate moderate to locally fresh breezes, mainly over the central and southeastern islands today. In special warnings, mariners and beachgoers are advised to exercise extreme caution due to hazardous rip currents and rough surf, especially along northern and eastern shorelines. For all areas, weather partly cloudy, mild, and breezy today. A small craft advisory is in effect. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas today and 15 to 20 knots in the central Bahamas. Northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 3 to 5 feet near shore, building up to 8 feet offshore in north, east, and easterly swells. Your high temperature today, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 degrees Celsius. Your overnight low temperature, 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius. We'll have an extended forecast for you in the 8 o'clock hour. Unleash the power of electricity. Test drive an electric vehicle at Easy Car Sales and discover the instant torque, quiet ride, and power of an EV. Visit easy242.com and plug into the evolution of transportation.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey for every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Planning for Christmas couldn't be easier with Kelly's House and Home. We have a fantastic range of gift ideas for men and women and all the latest toys for the kids. Our Christmas department is filled with trees, ornaments, lights, garland, and so much more. We have everything you need to keep your family Christmas traditions alive. Check out our holiday shopping guide on kellysbahamas.com. We make shopping easier for you with online shopping and in-store pickup. Kelly's House and Home is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday and from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. Happy holidays from Kelly's House and Home.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Power on the holidays this Christmas with Custom Computers. We have everything that everyone wants to see under the tree. Laptops, iPads, AirPods, Apple Watches, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Find gifts for every reason this Christmas season at Custom Computers. Visit us on Patton Street in Palmdale, opposite Liquid Courage, or in Caves Village through the Blake Road entrance. The best Christmas has to offer is right here at your one-stop shop, Custom Computers.
The Water and Sewage Corporation celebrates you this holiday season. Make your bills merrier and brighter with our exciting holiday promotion. Pay your bill in full between December 1st and 15th, 2023, and you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win amazing prizes. Simply visit any Water and Sewage Corporation location or our social media pages to find out more about the promotion and how you can participate. This holiday season, let us make your bills merrier and brighter. Happy holidays from the Water and Sewage Corporation.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Go CIBC First Caribbean. We help you
to get what you want this year. Spin the wheel of wishes with a trip for two to Miami. Spin the wheel of wishes
cash for Christmas. CIBC First Caribbean.
Win with your approved loan. Visit CIBC-FCIB/Wheel of Wishes for more information. Conditions apply.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans. Available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Enjoy the magic of Christmas at Nassau Cruise Port all December long. Visit Santa and his helpers at Santa's workshop for holiday photos. Enjoy Christmas caroling, wreath decorating, mixology classes, and movie marathons. And of course, come for the great concerts and holiday shopping. Nassau Cruise Port is your ultimate destination for Christmas fun. Visit NassauCruisePort.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details. Nassau Cruise Port, the place to be.
Hello?
Hey girl, what you saying? I just was calling to check up on you.
Hey girl, everything fine, but I just can't talk right now. I gotta go to the clinic.
The clinic? Everything okay with you?
Yeah girl, everything fine with me. I just trying to get this little one ready because he has an appointment for his childhood vaccination.
Well, Logan's 6 years old. I haven't taken him for his last vaccine appointment since before the pandemic.
Did you know that the childhood vaccinations could protect these little ones from preventable diseases like polio, rubella, measles, and mumps? So these vaccinations for the little ones is the best we could do for them.
I'm gonna make that appointment for him because I need him to get up to date with all of his vaccines. Let me let you go, but call me back when you come back home.
Mommy, I need to go get my vaccines.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO WHO, and the Canadian government.
The National Insurance Board encourages all employers and self-employed persons to stay ahead of the 2024 rush by scheduling a meeting with your inspector today. A one-on-one appointment with your inspector ensures that your account is up to date and compliant, making it a hassle-free process when applying for your tax compliance certificates and business license renewals with the Department of Inland Revenue. Stay ahead, avoid delays. Keep your business thriving. Contact your inspector now. Your success is our priority.
Cashmas time, here we go. Percy's doing it big this year. Cashmas time with extra chair. 12 days of merry winnings from your friends at Island Bay. Friends we trust, hey we know. Cashmas time, here we go. Prizes and lots of dough. This Christmas, come catch a lick with 20 on your account. Quick, quick, quick. And you can win some awesome stuff at Percy's Island Bay.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASU savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Now the time of year has come to be loved in a special way. We will try to do what's right on this merry Christmas day. Candles burning, children singing, and
Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards along with Stephen Hanna, and we talking about the Royal Bahamas Defense Force being put on notice by the Prime Minister that they may...
That sounds dramatic.
...be heading to... It is? It is.
Also...
Well, the warning order...
heading, that they will
be heading to Haiti.
That they are headed to Haiti.
Let's
just... Because beheading sounds...
Warning, it's a warning order. A warning means to keep your head up.
Yeah.
But maybe things will change. I don't know.
No, I feel like it's a heads up.
Changing.
I don't know what the warning
order changing right now.
It sounds... Let's see what warning order
But we also see the Commodore of the Defense Force saying that it seems like recruitment has been down or low, possibly because people have been hearing that they may have to be sent off to defend another country or help with the defense of another country. And we just found that interesting.
So a warning order is a preliminary notice of an order or an action which is to follow. Is issued by the commander at the outset of receipt of an order from a higher. Full stop.
Okay.
So it's like it's just a term. It sounds very dramatic.
It is.
But it just means like, this is, like you said, a notice. Hey.
Yeah.
We go in.
This person was agreeing with you, Stephen, saying good morning. Tell those callers Army Defense Force are interchangeable terms. Case in point, Bahamas Defense Force, Israeli Defense Force. All are trained for military operations. The only difference is the size. So tell them, please make it make sense. Make what makes sense?
No, the responsibilities. They're saying you can't complain about the responsibilities at that point.
Yeah. This person saying the difference between the U.S. Army and the Defense Force is the varied, vigorous types of training the soldiers are subjected to.
I wouldn't say no. It's the fact that how much money does the U.S. put into their military industrial complex? That's an industry. That's the biggest spend on their budget, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we don't put in that much money. If we put in that much money, then we'd also have rigorous training and stuff. It's really how much money do you have to invest in anything?
This person must be asking this for you. Why aren't you asking why France isn't interested in coming to the aid of Haiti?
Oh no,
former colonizers, they're still responsible for some of it.
They started. They're the inciting incident.
Yeah.
Them and Napoleon. But the reason why is probably because France is very much tied up in Africa right now because nobody who is black and speaks French wants anything to do with France at this moment. So France needs to worry about their own self.
Yeah.
And France would probably be very happy if Haiti collapsed. Right? Yeah. So I do not anticipate or see any way, shape, or form that France would ever come to the aid of Haiti.
No.
And also, if they did, it would not be welcome. It would clearly be a trick. It would be a trap. Please remove yourselves out of the water.
Yeah. This person says, good morning, Mr. Robards. I resent your statement. If you can't get on to the armed forces, then where can you go? I don't remember saying that.
No, I said that. Because my question was like, when they're saying people... The text said, persons who can't get on the armed forces are going elsewhere. And I'm like, where else are they going? Like, don't make it seem like these people who can't get on the armed forces are so highly qualified that they have people beating down their door to get them.
So they go on to say, and that's probably why I assure you that law enforcement organizations have standards. Okay, nobody's saying they don't. Those standards consist of academic qualifications, among others, and with most places in the Bahamas, persons who don't meet the standards are still allowed to be employed. So put some respect on these organizations and stop insinuating that just anyone can attain employment there.
No, not anyone can. I can't get on the police force.
That's not what he's saying.
I can't get on the defense force. I can't get on immigration. Like I'm not suggesting that just anyone. There are standards involved, and there are a lot of people who don't meet those standards. Yeah. What I'm saying is, if you've been outright rejected by the police force, the defense force, immigration, any of the armed forces, you are not a person who is so highly skilled that you could take your bag and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
All right, that is just the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
And you could say, oh, there's academic standards, because there are people on the defense force, the police force, all of the armed forces who went to university, went to college. Some just graduated high school. Some dropped out of high school and went down Carmichael Road and did a class at night to get their BJC and their BGCSE.
Yeah.
Right?
The Commodore is Dr. Raymond King.
Right. We see the advertisements. We see the signs on the side of the road. We know what's up.
Yeah.
Right? So let's not play that game. All right? But at the end of the day, if you do not qualify, that's like saying, oh, you couldn't get a job at The Guardian writing for the newspaper, so you're going to take your writing skills elsewhere. Where? This is a legit question, right? If you can't write for the newspaper, where in this country are you going to write for? Right? If you have that, be at least that's a qualifying standard, right? If you are not qualified enough to be on the armed forces, what skill do you have that's so in demand that you could I just go walk somewhere else and go get it? And that's what I was questioning.
Gotcha. Okay.
But feel free to take offense.
I think they are very much taking offense. This person says avoiding war is not new. Rich people did it for centuries. Well, yeah.
Well, that's what South Korea issue is right now, where because theirs is mandatory, right? Their defense force is mandatory, or their enlistment is mandatory.
Yeah.
The problem over there is that they have so many superstars and they keep deferring it. So like if you're in a boy band and you're very popular, you're like, oh, we're going on a world tour. Next week, I can't really join the armed forces now. Okay, we could defer it for a year. Oh man, we just got nominated for a Grammy. I can't go in the armed forces, and so we defer it again.
Yeah.
Right? And so now they're having the issue with, I think, with one of the members of BTS who never served in the armed forces. It's some
It's
foolishness.
going to soon need sanctuary. This person says, Stephen, you're very condescending from the outset about the RBDF. That's a different text.
If listen, I don't understand. Okay, I mean, like I can't
I don't know if it
stop
was
you.
about the RBDF.
I think this is all stemming from the person's hearing me say the defense, what people thought the defense force was about.
Yeah.
All right, and so it's like, here's the thing.
You got to listen.
No, I can't control how you take it. All right, there's a thing in writing where it's like once an artist creates art, they no longer have control over how it's interpreted.
Right.
All right, you are not to be concerned with authorial intent. The only thing that you can be concerned about is what you gather from it. Now, if you gather from what I said some sort of condescension, that's something that you have to look within yourself and look within the country that you live in to ask, why is that the first thing that comes to my mind? But do not concern yourself with what Stephen's intent was. Don't worry about the writer. Don't worry about the person who painted the picture. Don't worry about the singer. Why is it that when you listen to a Rake and Scrape song, you think that this is culturally relevant when it's talking about cheating?
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, what is the context in which I am hearing this that leads me to believe that this is okay or this is a problem? So don't worry about authorial intent. If you hear condescension, worry about the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry about Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen is not a part of the defense force.
There you go.
Stephen has not asked for the end of the defense force. Stephen supports the defense force.
Send us into the news.
Oh, sorry.
Get cut off.
We got the news.
Has warned them to prepare.
We have received our warning order from the Prime Minister that we will deploy, but we have yet to receive instruction.
And now at 8:20, it is time for your final look at weather for today. Your general situation: high pressure across the area will maintain stable conditions along with moderate to locally strong breezes, mainly over the central and southeast Bahamas. Mariners and beachgoers are advised to exercise extreme caution due to dangerous rip currents and rough surf, especially along northern and eastern shorelines. For all areas, weather variably cloudy, warm and breezy today. with a few possible passing showers through tonight. A small craft advisory is in effect. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas and 15 to 20 knots in the central Bahamas. Northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 3 to 5 feet near shore, building up to 8 feet offshore in northeast to easterly swells. Your high temperature today, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 degrees Celsius. Your low temperature tonight, 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius. In your extended forecast, high pressure will continue to build across the area and maintain brisk winds and rough seas over the weekend. An approaching cold front will support some unsettled weather and hazardous boating conditions in the northwest Bahamas late on Sunday. Your forecast for Saturday, weather partly cloudy and warm with isolated showers mainly in the southeast Bahamas. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots in the northwest Bahamas. Easterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts in the central Bahamas and 20 to 25 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore, building up to 8 feet offshore in the northwest and central Bahamas, and up to 10 feet offshore in the northeast to easterly swells in the southeast Bahamas. Your outlook for Sunday, weather variably cloudy, warm and breezy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, veering southeast to south at night in the northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts in the central Bahamas and southeast Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore, building up to 8 feet offshore in the northwest Bahamas, 7 to 10 feet in the central and southeast Bahamas in northeast to easterly swells. That is your final look at weather for today. And your second look at traffic for the morning. This segment brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. We've been informed that there was gridlock on Milo Butler Highway with traffic backed up almost to Carmichael Road. That was around 7:45. I don't know if things have changed quite yet, but looking at the traffic, it is pretty bad. It's backed up probably about halfway to Carmichael Road from what we can see. Fire Trail Road, though, is looking very, very congested at the moment. Traffic almost backed up back to Carmichael Road. Gladstone Road. Gladstone Road has definitely gotten busier in the last hour. Traffic seems to be flowing in some areas, but backing up to Fire Trail Road. That's causing some congestion on John F. Kennedy Highway, John F. Kennedy Drive at the intersection of Gladstone Road in both the easterly and westerly directions. Saunders Beach roundabout, not looking too bad this morning. Looking at the Eastern Road for you now, traffic is almost non-existent. Not looking too bad there. Traffic on Blue Hill Road, it's built up now on Carmichael. Just slightly, but seems to be flowing as you get to the hill and the intersection of Independence Drive. East Street, though, pretty congested south of the East-West Highway. Those are your hot spots at the moment. Drive carefully And be safe. This segment of Morning Blend brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You'll have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's $1 million Christmas and Everybody Wins is hooking you up. From December 1st to December 29th, you can win cash giveaways. Get into the cash vault, spin and win, and take advantage of other random raffle drawers. Prizes like mortgage payments, rent payments, utility bills cleared, cold cash, and more. To enter, you must sign up and get a verified account and simply spend $20 or more and you're in. To be eligible, you must be 18 and over. It's $1 million Christmas with Everybody Wins. Terms and conditions apply.
'Tis the season for sharing with loved ones and friends, and a time for reflection on the year soon to end. But before this year ends and the new has to begun, we at Screws and Fasteners World would share a gift too, though it be only one. For trusting our services in projects great or small, we thank you for stopping by or giving us a call. As we bid farewell to this year at its end, should we not meet tomorrow or on the other days round the bend, have a happy Christmas and a safe celebration till we meet again next year for another collaboration.
Power on the holidays this Christmas with Custom Computers. We have everything that everyone wants to see under the tree. Laptops, iPads, AirPods, Apple Watches, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Find gifts for every reason this Christmas season at Custom Computers. Visit us on Patton Street in Palmdale opposite Liquid Courage or in Caves Village through the Blake Road entrance. The best Christmas has to offer is right here at your one-stop shop. Custom Computers.
The National Insurance Board encourages all employers and self-employed persons to stay ahead of the 2024 rush by scheduling a meeting with your inspector today. A one-on-one appointment with your inspector ensures that your account is up to date and compliant, making it a hassle-free process when applying for your tax compliance certificates and business license renewals with the Department of Inland Revenue. Stay ahead, avoid delays. Keep your business thriving. Contact your inspector now. Your success is our priority.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Child, Fidelity can on this year with their new festive giveaway. You could win cash, an iPhone 15, get a bill paid off, PS5, all kind of things. Apply for a loan or an ASUS savings account, and you could win. Try our call them now. Yeah? 356-7764.
Christmas is here, and all roads lead to Bahamas Welding and Fire. Get the best selection and prices on Christmas indoor and outdoor decorations, ornaments, trees, ribbons, flowers, and lights, just to name a few. While there, check out the appliance combos, ductless AC units, generators, household supplies, Junkanoo and craft supplies, and a whole lot more. Our friendly staff is waiting to roll out the red carpet just for you. We ship to the Family Islands and even deliver locally at no additional charge. Bahamas Welding and Fire, located on Wilton Street. We've got everything you need this Christmas.
Unlock dream deals this Black Friday at Alive with up to 55% off select Ring devices. Instantly upgrade your home security with 24/7 remote monitoring, motion detection, and instant alerts. Want full protection? Save even more by bundling your devices. From the front door to the backyard, secure your home with products like our Video Doorbell 4 and floodlight cameras. Shop online at BeAlive.com or at select Alive stores in Nassau and now available in Grand Bahama, Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma. Alive, believe in best.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. I am Chester Robards along with Stephen Hanna, and we were talking about the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and their upcoming deployment to Haiti, about 150 of them. We're also looking at a story now. Sweeting says Abaco shanty towns will be assessed in the new year. Saying that Abaco will likely be the first Family Island community assessed early next year by a government task force, and you don't think about Abaco without thinking about shanty towns, I guess.
Do you? That's not how I think about Abaco, but okay.
Well,
that's not how I think about Abaco.
I guess the only time, sometimes the only time I think about Abaco is when I'm on this show talking about illegal migrants in shantytowns. So
yeah, well, first of all, irregular migration is down 22%.
Right. So that ties in, I guess.
Right.
But also, did you read that story?
What? Did they say there were no landings?
No landings this year.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
Are you saying it's interesting because you don't believe it, or interesting because that's like an accomplishment?
I'm going to tell you that I'm not sure that I believe that there were none. There were none detected.
Well, yeah, I think they phrased it how reported.
Right.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's a list. Reported, detected, or otherwise.
Right. So
that is zero.
So zero, right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
You were right.
Yeah.
I was reading it wrong.
Okay.
I was reading it as there was zero reported. And they're saying that looks like a list of ways. But yeah,
somebody come from somewhere.
No, but then understand, irregular migration is what people, like, you got into the country unbeknownst to the immigration forces.
Yeah.
This isn't people who came in and overstayed their visa or whatever permit they have. Right? So, yeah. So it's quite possible. I don't think they're counting American persons who are boats and coming on American public holidays and fish in the water illegally.
Yeah,
they're not counting those people.
No,
but because they also don't land, they just stay in the water.
Yeah.
And then I talk about those American YouTubers who are like, we're living off grid, just catching lobster in the middle of a closed season.
Wherever we want. And you're probably in a national park or something.
Right. And it's like, oh, you could just pick up the conch out the water. And it's like, please stop. That is a baby conch. But yeah, so no, I could believe that. And then don't forget there's a lot of forces at work here.
Yeah.
All right. There's stuff happening in Haiti. There's increased patrol. There's other islands, other locations that they might be trying to attempt to get to or whatever. So that's possible.
Yeah. Just get to these text messages before we run out. Well, there's only 2. Great show as usual. Christmas coming up, and y'all want to talk about war. Let's talk about gifts from John Bull. Okay, you sending me one?
I mean, war don't stop just because.
Yeah.
The calendar hit 25.
This this person says, "Morning, multi-talented producer Steven, and the great electric car Chester," and they finish that line with an LOL. I always laugh how folks can't tell the difference and get you two dudes mixed up. Steven, you are adding nitro to Chester's show, just like you do Dwight's show. Please read the rest of this text. Regarding Guyana and Venezuela,
that page long text, the text is taking up.
Can you see that?
The entire screen.
Yeah, this is an essay. Regarding Guyana and Venezuela conflict, here is how we can all help them a bit. Let's all get electric cars like Chester. Oh boy. Power those vehicles in the entire Bahamas with renewables.
Sorry.
Multiple forms of wind power, various types of water power, sun, solar power, electricity. If nations cut out the market demand for fossil fuel, Venezuela will ease up on Guyana.
Well, I mean, the part of the reason why
like have to be a big switch.
It's a lot happening because OPEC are ramping down production to drive up the price to make more money, right? And then that is benefiting other oil-producing nations. Guyana has also benefited from oil production of recently, right? Because once again, they found a little pocket of oil that's been helping them, and that's why Venezuela is looking over there and saying, "Wait a minute, 300 years ago, that used to be a part of this." Yeah, because it was all just one giant piece of land. But with that said, if you're talking about electric vehicles, I've been looking, all right? And let me tell you, all right?
Before you read that and try rain on parades.
I would never, no. It's not, I wouldn't be like, oh, don't get a electric vehicle. I was looking at the different types of electric vehicles, and it's like, bro.
Okay.
They have some for like brand new Swift size vehicles coming out of China, $5,000, $6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got 3 wheels or 4?
I'm talking about the ones with 4 wheels.
Okay.
But the 3-wheel ones too, right? But my thing is, why I want the persons. I know that there are people who like they have the. I'm not going to say luxury, but the mid-range price electric vehicles now.
Right.
But there's a market for
smaller
10,000 and less vehicles to come over here.
Right.
And so it's like, if the country is serious about it, if the government is serious about it, if the individual car dealerships, because ain't no more Passos to sell, we've crashed all of them. Right? So Japan has run out of Passos to sell us, right? If you guys want, there's some nice Chinese electric vehicles that we could pick up.
We also need.
They have one that they made it specifically for areas in Southeast Asia where it floods, and so it specifically is made for flooding and for tidal waves and all that type of stuff. It can drive through not just standing water. Like, it doesn't need to touch the road.
It can float.
It can float.
Oh,
now it won't go as fast on the water.
Motor.
No, what happens?
The tires.
Each tire operates like a propeller.
Flippers.
Right, but it also works on the road, and it's still sub $10,000.
Wow!
Right, and like when I saw it, I was like, oh, people in Pinewood would definitely, and that's not even like a slight.
Because they're using nuclear power to make them.
No, it's just like the battery is, I guess, higher up and to the side or whatever. Who knows? But anyway, the whole point is there are options out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? And we if we really are on this thing, we want to bring down the cost of living. If you're gonna spend $5,000 to $10,000 on a car anyway, might as well get a car that they have a completely solar powered vehicle. Now that one is more than 10.
Oh.
All right.
Like you got panels on the roof, kind of.
The whole entire thing is solar panel.
It's solar panel.
Yeah, it's black, the black solar panels. So it's like there are so many options out there.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, as Stephen as an individual, I don't know how to bring in that, so I can't bring it in.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that some of y'all automobile people out there, y'all already in China, y'all already in South Korea, y'all already in Japan bringing in vehicles. Go take a look at the factories and say, wow. And the wonderful thing is the price goes down if you buy a bunch. So Stephen will have to buy it for $6,000, but y'all could buy it for $4,000 and sell it to me for $6,000
later on.
Yeah.
You can sell it to you for $6,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me finish reading the rest of this text message. This person says they also have a solution for Haiti. Where is that? Let us all boycott France and others we know who have continuously worked to oppress and destabilize Haiti.
How have I been supporting France?
Seemingly worse than they've been doing Africa for decades or eons even. No, son. This person says we need to boycott the smooth, sneaky, cunning destabilizers of Haiti and Africa, by extension. Boycott the oppressors. Wonder where that'll leave us.
It isn't hard to boycott France. What French products are you using? Exactly.
I think San Salvador needs France.
Please.
Somebody wants the name of the car that you're talking about.
I'm trying to find.
Oh, okay.
A second, because it's a weird. It's like one is a Panda.
Panda.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Panda Mini.
This person says
the Geely Panda Mini is one. That's not the floating one. That's the one that's under 5,000, depending on where you buy it. Well, 5,000 range.
Let's take some of these calls while you're looking for that. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Caller, you there? No. Let's try this other one. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. No caller.
Morning.
Oh, there you are.
I was listening to your show. I believe the Commodore when he said you didn't have any landing in 2023, simply because the U.S. Coast Guard and Cuban Border Patrol, they've been doing such a good job, and they've been communicating with the Defense Force, especially the Cuban Border Control, and giving us information, and we were able to interdict all of the Haitian attempting to come this way. And secondly, I was listening to the comments about Bahamian troops being deployed to Haiti. I myself was in a first group of guys who went to Haiti in 95.
Okay.
And I don't know where all of the hysteria is coming. That's what those guys are trained to do. And they are ready and prepared for all eventualities.
Yeah.
I was on base a few weeks ago. I talked to the commander who will be leading that mission, and I talked to some of the young Marines. They are excited. They are well trained, and they're ready to go to serve their country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I disagree with that. Haiti is not our problem. Haiti is our main problem. I think we the only Caribbean nation that have a problem with the Haitian migrants. You know what I mean? Jamaica wanted to go before the Kenyans came on, and Jamaica don't have a problem with the migrants. And a lot of people think that on the ground is going to be a lot of violence. But from my experience, when we went, General Cedric was ousted, and you had an active Haitian army, and a lot of ex-Haitian soldiers was on the ground creating havoc with guns. And when we went in there, along with the United States and additional Caribbean countries, they just basically melted away. We had a weapon buyback program. They would show up to our base, turn in their weapon, get their little monetary money for bringing in all the weapons, and realize Haiti within weeks. And the situation seems critical right now because when the Haitian government collapsed, you had a vacuum. Someone had to fill the vacuum. So the Haitian gang filled the vacuum.
Yeah.
So I am very confident. Those guys will do well.
Yeah.
And everyone worrying about casualty. This is a real world.
Yeah.
Even anytime the police go on any given night,
There's
they
a
could
danger.
have
Yeah.
casualty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And war, deployment situation, there will be casualty. That is the reality of life.
You seem to be saying that when you joined, you kind of had the understanding that this was a possibility.
It is a possibility because we have something called attestation form. When you sign up, it's a possibility you could go to war or have overseas deployment, and that has not changed.
Yeah.
You know, that is not changed. And the Defense Force have 5 mandates, and the last mandate is any other thing the minister decide. And then we met in '95 when former Prime Minister Ingram deployed us. We didn't have all this uproar, you know.
Yeah.
We just went and we performed well. As a matter of fact, the Bahamas was the most decorated military force in the entire and that entire contingent. You know what I mean? We did more operation. We were working along with the CIA, along with the Secret Service when Jimmy Carter visited Haiti. Former Foreign Affairs Minister Janet Bostwick was there. She went on patrol with us while we patrolled in the streets of Cape Haitian, the second largest city in Haiti. And the guys then performed remarkably well.
Carla, let me ask you a question before we go. Do you think that perhaps one of the reasons why recruitment might be down is that the rigor that is required and the training that's required for the Defense Force may be overwhelming for some persons? They may not be mentally prepared for what it is that is required of them by the force.
Yeah, I don't know, because back then, quite frankly, I think the training was much tougher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then, we used to do everything manually. If we had to go 30 miles, we humped that with a 80-pound backpack and a rifle, and we humped that. Today, now the guys have
you guys were hiking that. You're walking that.
Yeah, hiking it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the way it is now, 10 miles to go, a military truck dropped you 5 miles from the drop zone, and you hiked another 5.
Yeah.
But I saw the Commodore comments that recruitment is down. You know what I mean? He has that data, but I am not sure about that. But I have to go with his data.
His informed decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His informed opinion.
But the most of the people who comment, they don't have a clue what they say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I saying that respectfully. Yeah. And what I think you guys need to do, you guys need to interview
the Commodore,
a lot of these guys who went and served. Former Commodore Clifford Buscavala, he went and served. Also, former Foreign Affairs Minister Don Hensfield, he went and he served.
Yeah.
Because when I heard Pintard said he agreed with the deployment, I knew Hensfield explained everything to him, and that's why we were able to get a bipartisan support for this mission.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now, the former Prime Minister said you need to have a debate in Parliament where to deploy. We didn't have a debate when we went the first time. Ingram sent his warning orders down to the Defense Force, tell them get ready for possible deployment.
Yeah.
And the same thing happening right now. So what is the difference? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need the subject matter expert so the public could be very clear
on what's happening.
Because everybody on Facebook is a social media expert, you know.
Yeah. So
okay. And that's been misinformation passed and created.
Yeah. We appreciate your insight. Sorry to cut you off. It was a good conversation. We appreciate you calling, but we have to go to a break so we can get to our next segment before we end the show.
Cashmas is here at Percy's Island Game. 78 winners, $250,000 in cash and prizes, and a grand prize of $50,000 in cash. And there's more! 7-day Caribbean and Alaska cruises, 7-day trips to New York, Las Vegas, and London, TVs, iPads, cell phones, and 3 brand new 2023 Toyotas. Enter to win each time you deposit $20 on your verified account at the only place with the cash, the cruises, the toys, the trips, and the cars this Cashmas, and that's Percy's Island Game.
Christmas is here, and all roads lead to Bahamas Building and Fire. Get the best selection and prices on Christmas indoor and outdoor decorations, ornaments, trees, ribbons, flowers, and lights, just to name a few. While there, check out the appliance combos, ductless AC units, generators, household supplies, Junkanoo and craft supplies, and a whole lot more. Our friendly staff is waiting to roll out the red carpet just for you. We ship to the Family Islands and even deliver locally at no additional charge. Bahamas Welding and Fire, located on Wilton Street. We've got everything you need this Christmas.
Unlock Dream Daddy at Alive with up to 55% off select Ring devices. Instantly upgrade your home security with 24/7 remote monitoring, motion detection, and instant alerts. Want full protection? Save even more by bundling your devices. From the front door to the backyard, secure your home with products like our Video Doorbell 4 and floodlight cameras. Shop online at BeAlive.com or at select Alive stores in Nassau and now available in Grand Bahama, Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma. Alive, believe in best.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. You make me laugh, 'cause your eyes, they light the night, they look right through me.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards along with Stephen Hanna. Switching gears right quick, and we're speaking to PAHO about an immunization we have going on. We got some PAHO representatives on the line. If you don't mind, introduce yourselves. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Gina Rose, Nurse Gina Rose. I am from the Ministry of Health. I am the person responsible for our national immunization program here in the Bahamas. Good to be here.
Excellent. So tell us about it. What do we have going on?
All right. So what we have started 2 weeks ago was an immunization drive or campaign where we're encouraging persons whose children are not up to date with their shots, who would have missed their appointments, to come and join us on a Saturday on a park between the hours of 10 to 4 so that we can provide them with the immunizations that they need. we're at the end of 2023 now. And so we have noticed that we've had a few children who would have missed and need to be brought up to date to be covered from these vaccine preventable disease like measles.
Right. Now, how are we doing since COVID when I think people would have missed? Is this still a kind of a catch-up time that you're talking about with these kids as well?
Yes. So thankfully, though, after 2021, so 2022 would have been a better year, but we're still trying to catch up some children who would have missed or lagged behind since the pandemic.
Right. Okay.
Now, is one of the issues that you guys face with parents, is it that in terms of of finding time to bring the children in to get immunized, what do you find is the biggest hamper on, I guess, having this done regularly on schedule?
Okay. I think timing is one of them, because a lot of people complain sometimes that the service in the public sector may be a little bit slow when it comes to them maybe losing time from work or school.
Right.
So we thought that Saturday, since off, that would probably be a good time for them to come in and bring the children. But another thing we realized is we have some parents, especially the younger persons, who don't have such strong beliefs, I guess, in immunizing their children. And, it takes a little bit of coaxing to tell them, there's a reason why we don't see these diseases in the country. And it's really because our parents and the older persons, they vaccinated their children. And so some people they argue that because you don't see them, that you really don't need it. But the reality is, the less we vaccinate our children, then the more likelihood that we can see a reintroduction of these diseases in our communities.
Right. And the question then is where should the education be? Also, should there be, because I imagine that most of these children are in or are going to eventually enter the school system, right? So is there a means that you could have like parents, all right, I don't have the time, my child, but I want to sign this waiver to allow my child to be immunized, and then persons from the Ministry of Health go to the schools and do it, or does it have to be the parent that brings them in? And then I'll ask the other bit after you answer that.
So the way you asked that question is something we're working on now, because it's some time back that was the case where Ministry of Health would go into the schools and immunize the children once consent was given. So we're working our way back to getting that part of the program reestablished within the school systems. Right. At that point, though, you're talking about children who are now 4, 5, and 6 and older.
Right.
So the primary series of immunization really is that you want the babies to get their first set of shots at 2, 4, and 6 months. Okay. Bam. And then you want them, when they turn 1, to get their 2 doses of measles, mumps, rubella, that vaccine, and then a dose of chickenpox vaccine. And then now we work on the others, which are called boosters thereafter. But the basic vaccines that they need before they turn 1 is really trying to get them up to date with.
I imagine that the parents are made aware of these things as their child is born.
I feel like there should be like a law the same way you have like maternity leave, where like if you have a child that you're permitted, like you get half day off to go vote. Like you should be able to say, but you have to bring back the immunization card to prove that you actually went and did that, and you wasn't just out there going to the movie. Maybe Stephen is being too invasive. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like there should be some allocation for parents who are working.
Dear God,
go for it, and you need to take your child to go get immunized, especially if you have a younger child.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is it just parents are lax after a while, don't have time, aren't educated, like you say, maybe there's
or is there more that can be
detraction
done to help parents be able to bring their younger children? Because you're saying that you need the youngest, the babies need the care that needs to be done either for the part of the employees or the part of the of the government, or what exactly needs, inside your estimation, needs to happen so that we can have this happen?
Well, in all honesty, I would say it starts with the parent, right? The reality is, for some of us, we find the time, we make the way, make a way to be able to do the things that we want to do. If a person comes to the government clinic to bring their child and it is a day when they should be to work, when they would have spent a certain number of hours there with us, we give them a medical form to let the employer know, okay, the person was at the clinic with their child. So there should not be a consequence for that parent. So I really believe it starts with the parents' willingness, desire, and drive to make sure that their children are protected. From a Ministry of Health perspective, I could say that maybe we can offer a little bit more flexible times for some persons, I guess, who can't always come in the morning. Maybe they can come in the evening, or maybe now there's time to look at weekend clinics. Thankfully for National Health Insurance, a lot of our babies that have signed up, they do have that option of doing a Saturday clinic privately in order to get the vaccinations that they need. During the antenatal period, when a woman goes to the clinic for a pregnancy care, one of the teaching sessions we have is on immunization. So for us, it starts from there to let them know the importance and the schedule that the babies are to be brought back to clinic for their immunizations.
Good morning, nurse. How are you? This is Erin Green. A couple of questions. I wonder, would a partnership with the Ministry of Transport to ensure that public transportation routes all hit clinics on their route, right? To ensure that people who don't have cars can access services during the day when they're using the bus, but also maybe an expanded local bus route so that parents without cars can access the clinic in the evening when the buses typically stop running.
Okay, so that is a good thought and an idea that we can probably look into.
Is a lack of,
I guess.
Sorry, I just asked because I wondered if a lack of transportation was a barrier for some people. And then another question from the text line actually was, have you documented or observed whether migrant parents are hesitant to access these services because there's a fear that they will then become documented and their status or lack thereof may be revealed?
Okay, so two parts. Last year we would have started, and this year service for all of the persons that we would have identified to be defaulters who would have missed.
Mm-hmm.
And, at the end of that conversation, or during the conversation, we would have asked, what was their reason for not coming? Transportation was not high on that list.
Okay.
But again, that's something that we can still look at, I agree, so that persons who can have access to the clinic either after, the bus route has stopped, or at least a bus route that brings them closer or directly to the clinic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that we would have found as I worked the various clinics, we don't have a very big issue with our migrant population. For the most part, it's those persons that would have delivered, especially in Princess Margaret Hospital.
Right.
They would come to the clinic. They bring their babies. It's the Bahamians that we have more of a challenge with trying to get them to come and stay on track. But we haven't found that the migrant population has the bigger part or the lion's share of the defaulters when we do our count, no ma'am.
Absolutely. You reference sort of the cultural elements that become accessing not just the services, but sort of the I don't want to say mandatory, but the necessary medical visits, right? Would an app where a parent would get a notification on their phone that it is immunization time, do you think something like that would be effective in terms of shifting the culture and getting parents more vaccination schedule?
Absolutely. I would say that maybe the more, I don't necessarily want to say bombarded, but the more they are contacted, maybe it will cause them to be a little bit more conscious of the need and come. But we do have a calling service where we would call and say, hey, your appointment is on Tuesday. Please don't forget.
That's excellent.
Bring the baby. Yes.
All right. So tell us what's happening tomorrow. What's
Okay,
go ahead.
So tomorrow we will be at Aaron Bailey Park between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. We will be there offering immunizations to adults and children, actually. I would really appreciate if the parents would bring the babies out.
What do the parents need to bring so this could go as smoothly as possible? What is there documentation? Do they need to find the immunization card? What all do they need to bring?
Right. So if your child has started their immunizations already and you have a card, you can bring that. If they don't have a card, that's fine. You can still come. We do have a database where we can go online and search for the baby's immunization records, providing they're within a certain age range, because we're just now trying to catch up on all the older person's records and ensuring that they're digitalized or in the computer. So if you have the card, you can bring it. If you don't, that's fine. If this child is just starting, we'd appreciate that you bring a government-issued ID so that we can properly register them and ensure that their documents are written with their proper identification or proper name.
Awesome. You can hear the music. We're sort of all out of time. I just want to repeat those details. Nurse Gina Rose,
like the flower.
Like the flower. That's an awesome name for a nurse. So tomorrow morning, Saturday the 9th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., R.M. Bailey Park. Bring your vaccination cards. If you don't have it, bring your ID, valid government ID. They have a system to check the records. Bring your children and don't bring your fare. No. Just make sure you're there.
Yes, there will be a bouncing castle. There will be prizes and surprises and music. So
awesome.
Bring the children. They could party after they get their little stick and have some light refreshments and then be on their way.
Thank you so much, Nurse Rose, and thank you for entertaining our questions. I'm sure that parents will now feel comfortable that the staff out there are, and most important, they take the comfort and concerns of the parents seriously. This has been an awesome segment. Thank you so much, Nurse Rose, and have a wonderful morning. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
You too, ma'am. Have a great day. Yes. Mr. Hanna?
Oh, you want me to take us out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're listening to Morning Blend. We'll be back after this.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Wake up. It's a new Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. My name is Erin Green and I'm sitting in with Mr. Stephen Hanna this morning for the Morning Blend Business Hour on this Tuesday, on this Friday, the 8th of November.
It's the Tuesday of the weekend.
You're
I
right.
guess. Something.
Absolutely.
If you say it, it makes sense.
Well, I tell you one thing, is you don't hear my voice this early. I had to sleep in the parking lot last night to ensure that I was here on time for this morning's show to Morning Blend. We have guests in studio. I can't let them wait any longer, so we're going to get to them. Before we head into the business report, joining us this morning are representatives and winners from the Bahamas Poetry Competition. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ms. Green. Good morning, Mr. Hanna.
Hi. Please introduce yourself.
And the organization.
Yes, sir. My name is Jermaine Roll. I'm the president of Bahamas Poetry Competition. Bahamas Poetry Competition is a online poetry competition that targets primary school students, secondary school, as well as adults. The program is structured where we solicit poetry on topics of national importance, and then it goes into two segments. Once we get the top winners in the writing portion, those persons are selected to create videos of their poems. So now it goes into the performance portion, and from the performance grand champion, the videos that are created, they're uploaded to YouTube for viewing. So they're online right now at Bahamas Poetry Competition YouTube page. Currently, the page has received close to 100,000 views over the last few years.
And it's Bahamas Poetry Competition on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And 100,000 views?
Close to it.
Y'all have gone viral.
Some of the videos are viral. This has been over a span of a few years because we started in 2018. There's been some gaps in there because we had Dorian, we had COVID. So that kind of decimated our flow. But we're back on stream. We started last year with the adult division. And now this year we introducing again the primary division. But normally when we initially started, there were three divisions: the primary school, the second.
I have three winners in the room with me right now. Which one of these people won the adult division, though?
There was no adult division this year. Based on the sponsorship that was available during the time, we were only able to have the primary school division.
Well, listen, as an adult, I was almost upset, but I appreciate the decision to prioritize the young
children.
people and divert the resources solely to the primary and junior school students. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want you all to know I get jealous, though, young people. That's all people is get jealous of all the opportunities that you all have available to you. Go on, sir.
Yeah, with the primary school students, I never wanted to deprive them. That's why with them, there was never an entry fee. So there's no boundaries for them to enter the competition. Persons from the family islands participated. We had at least 4 other islands other than New Providence that participated. So it was open to the whole
So what were the family islands? Who were the family islands that participated?
I always get this wrong. There was Andros, there was Long Island, there was Exuma, Eleuthera, and New Providence. Oh, I got it right this time.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
So now, the question that I know you said that there's an overall grand champion.
Yes.
Are they divided into age categories or segments, or is it just like everybody in the primary school or everybody in junior high competing for the same title?
Correct. The primary school is one division, secondary one division, and adults one division. I know it's not fair for 7th graders to compete with 12th graders, but the way the money was structured at the time, I couldn't create an additional division for high school students. And then grades 1 to 3, they're just learning how to write. So it really wasn't much for them to really produce.
Right. I mean, we have a younger.
She's from Mayagüana. I know she's 15 years old. Don't.
Oh, they just.
Yeah. I mean, she just looks like she's in primary school.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's tiny.
So you pick a winner from each division, and they all are considered for the grand champion?
Yeah, we find the top 10 competitors
in each division.
In each division. And then they go on to the finals, which is where they have to produce their videos.
Do you delete points for cuteness?
Negative. We do not do that.
I mean, because that's an advantage.
Actually, there was a separate prize. Even though there's a grand prize for first, second, and third, they all get cash prizes, trophies, etc.
Yeah.
But normally, as the president, I select 2 other awards. Other than that, there was an award for Rising Star, which was based on what I saw in the performance of one of the competitors. I deemed them as a Rising Star. And then there's always an award for Best Performer, which is not necessarily the best video, but it's the best energy and performance that person put forward.
Right. It may not necessarily be the best written poem either.
Correct.
But okay, this is awesome. So I want to know what the prizes were, but should we introduce winners and then have them tell us what they what
their poem was, I guess.
Right, and then what they won.
Yes. Okay, this year the topic was the islands of the Bahamas. Now, they could have written on an individual island or a collective of islands. This being our 50th year of independence, I wanted them to focus on country.
Absolutely. Yeah. I submitted Mr. Hannah a poem before I knew they weren't having an adult division, and the poem is called Mayagüana is Not a Real Place. It's a figment of our imagination. Do y'all know about the island Mayagüana? You ever heard of Mayagüana? You said no? Sir, have you ever heard of Mayagüana?
Not really.
Not really.
Have you ever heard about Mayagüana?
See, I tell you all, Mayagüana is not Mayagüana is an island in the Bahamas. It's one of our southernmost islands. But the reason that we don't know about it is because it sits on another tectonic plate. So if there were an earthquake, they say if the sea levels rise, they won't rise in Mayagüana because Mayagüana will rise with the tectonic plate it's on. That's why Mayagüana is not a real place. I submitted that as a poem, but they didn't accept it because they said I wasn't telling the truth. But I believe in imagination. So let's introduce our winners. Let's start from my right. I want you to tell me your name, the name of your poem, the category you were in, and
your inspiration. Why did you decide to go with that poem?
Yeah. And you speak directly into the mic, yes. Yes, you can start.
My name is Jocelyn Thompson. I am 10 years old. My poem is called The Islands of the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to write that? I mean, well, sorry, do you remember any of the poem?
Do you want to, okay, so, would you like to recite it for us? I asked the question, but I could be honest with you. This is what older people do. They form it like a question.
But it's really a request.
A request.
Actually, it's a demand.
Would you please read your poem for us, or the first few lines? Because we want to know what you wrote about and what inspired you to write that topic on that topic.
In the islands of the Bahamas, where the ocean meets the sky, there is a world of wonder where dreams can fly high. These islands are full of beauty, where the palm trees sway. Islands of the Bahamas, let's sail away today. Cat Island, the Apcos, Eleuthera, and Exuma. These islands are where Mother Nature truly shines so clear, taking the tourist breath away. In the Bahamas, they all want to stay and play. Pink sands, so soft and pristine, Eleuthera, one of nature's masterpieces. Exuma's crystal blue tide can't hide. The islands of the Bahamas, adventures our trusted guide. On Cat Island, the legends of pirates still roam, with Aunt Bonnie, Mary Read, and Blackbeard making our islands their home, while Bimini's fishing tales find a cozy home, from great Anagua's flamingos in vibrant array, to the mysteries of San Salvador's history displayed. Harbor Island's charm, like a storybook tale, in parcel-colored homes and a gentle sea swell. Caves, blue holes, and forests are a true mystery. Ours is the largest where nature's wild and free. The islands of the Bahamas, a place of culture and song. The jungle rhythms make us dance all night long. Conch salad, a savory delight. Our local smiling faces to greet you. Bahamas where the skies are so blue. There's a chain of islands and they are paradise too.
Awesome. Awesome. May I take a look at it? I love it, my friend. I love this poem and I love the presentation. If you see how she printed out the poem, you'll see the
watermark of the islands
and the thought like put into it, because she tells us about all of the islands. I want to find Exuma's crystal blue tide can't hide. I love that line. The islands of the Bahamas, adventures, our trusted guide. I love that.
Chester gonna put it on the side of a plane.
Yes, he should do. He should do. In fact, Ministry of Tourism. See, it's a wonderful poem, my friend. I'm about to call Elkin 360, Solo Made, Johnny Cake, Shine. You know, KB making music again. We got to call KB because your song is filled with lyrics. Your poem is like a song filled with lyrics. I love it, madam. And you are a class prefect at your school. Give me 5. Way to go, madam. Way to go. Congratulations. Okay. I really want to know about the prize money, but let's get to the other competitors. I don't know, maybe me and you, we could go, we could go to the vaccination park and Bouncing Castle and spend some money. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am good.
Good. It's nice to meet you. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Mario Guilt. I'm 10 years old.
Guiltide?
Pardon?
Sorry, what's your surname?
Guilt.
Guilt?
Guilt?
Okay.
You say my surname?
Yeah, yes. What's your last name?
Guilt.
Guilt.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Sir, what school do you go to?
E.P. Roberts Primary School.
Look at what E.P. Roberts is producing. Okay. What grade are you in?
Grade 6.
Grade 6 as well. What's the title of your poem?
Bahama Line.
Now, I don't see any paper. Are you going to recite it for us? Okay. Maybe not. Tell us what the theme of your poem is. Like, what's
it about?
The central part.
It's like about Bahamas and other islands. Like how Bahama waters is clear and Eleuthera's serene embrace.
She said, Eleuthera's serene embrace? Look at this young man. Let me tell you something about Eleuthera's serene embrace. As the sun
tell us.
As the sun sets over the horizon and the mosquitoes start raising from the salt ponds, the vibration across the night sky lulls everyone to sleep. And then the mosquitoes come and wrap you up in kisses and bite you until you can't take it anymore. I love that line, sir. That's wonderful. Okay. I see y'all iron sharpen iron. Now, we have our third winner in studio. Mr. Hannah, do you want to set up her mic for her?
No problem. Here we go.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
Nice to meet you. What is your name?
Bethany Barr.
It's nice to meet you, Bethany Barr. Are you from Andros?
No, Mom.
What school do you go to?
Sadie Curtis.
Oh, nice, nice. Sadie Curtis is also doing big things in the sporting world as well. This is awesome. Okay, what is the name of your poem?
Well, I don't really have a name for it.
I love it. I love it. You give.
How old are you again?
7.
7, okay.
All right, it gives me an opportunity to name it. I feel like I'm a part of the process. Will you read your poem for us this morning?
Yes, Mom.
Okay, we are ready. Stephanie Barr? Bethany Barr is reading her award-winning poem. She was one of the awardees in the 2023 Bahamas Poetry Competition. Take it.
The Islands of the Bahamas, written by me, Bethany Barr. B. Beloved Bimini and Barry Islands, for big game and bill fishing in the blue. A. Abundant Andres, home to mangroves and the chicksharnies that scare you. H. Humble Harbor Island and Eleuthera, where our pink sand lives and sweet pineapples grow. A. Adventurous Acklands, Cat Island and Cricket Island for fun hill climbing and snorkeling down below. M. And Inagua, where you will see wild donkeys, pink flamingos, and saltils. A. Astonishing Abaco with brilliant coral reefs and its abode's paradise thrill. L. Lovely Long Island with beautiful nature trails and the second deepest blue hole in the world. A. Azure Clouds, the Tropic of Cancer, and swimming pigs in Exuma, a sight to behold. N. New Providence and Grand Bahama, the first and second capitals of our Bahama land. D. Discovered by Columbus in 1492, when he set foot on San Salvador sand. Bahama land! Every island from top to bottom is majestic. Don't you know? Our Bahama land is one of a kind. Beautiful archipelago.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you very much. Also, I love the setup, how you pretended like you didn't know where Mayaguana was, so that when you read your poem, you would hit us with that. I love it. Okay, so now, is the grand champion sitting in the room with us this morning?
She's sitting in the room. She's the smallest person in the room, and she just read a poem. That's our grand champion.
Miss Bethany Barr, congratulations. As let's just take a moment, audience, to congratulate Miss Bethany Barr, 7 years old, Sadie Curtis Primary School, grand champion of the Bahamas Poetry Competition.
It's got to play the music underneath it.
Producer, play the best Junkanoo music ever in the history of Junkanoo and the whole world for Miss Bethany Barr and her supporting cast of winners. Your name again, class prefect?
Jasmine Thompson.
Jasmine Thompson.
Mario Goat.
Congratulations. This is awesome. Okay, now to the biggest part of the discussion.
What did you win?
What did you all win? Well, see, my producer's a poet as well. He knows that every good poem needs suspense. So we go into the break.
No, this is the music for
Oh,
her.
this is the music.
To announce Bethany Barr as the winner. This is the bed.
Bethany, you get to do you have a shuffle?
She's not old enough to remember
the shuffling.
The Prime Minister doing the shuffle. So that's a slightly before
Well,
time.
but don't worry. We entering y'all in the Bahamas dance competition where we looking for the next Junkanoo dance, whether it's going to be the shuffle or whatever it is the Honorable Hubert Minnis did on the stage that night.
Bethany, when they told you that you won, how'd you feel?
Happy, very happy.
All right. So, at school, did anything happen when you went to school or anything? Did they announce it at school? How'd you find out?
Through the PA system.
They said it on the PA system?
So everybody in the school heard that you were the winner.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Was there ice cream and cake? Did they do a little celebratory thing at the school?
No.
Not yet. Dear Sadie Curtis Primary. Put that on the schedule, please. Now, to our other winners, E.P. Roberts Primary. Was there an announcement at school? Will there be a special event? Are they making you read your poems to the school?
No, they wasn't making us read our poems to the school.
No, they should do, because they're great. I'm saying they should make you all read it because your poems are worthy of being read aloud. Are you guys looking forward to performing again? Are you writing more poetry? Are you putting together a book? Yes?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I will. I don't know what will I name my book, but I will find out.
You find out. So you're working on it. Okay, Mr. Gilt?
I will not write any poem no more.
Why not?
He's retired. He's just, he's excelled to this point. And
It take me at least 2 days to write me that poem. And
It only took you 2 days?
You understand?
I want to tell you about a man named Homer. It took him 300 years to write the Iliad. And then it took him another 100 years to write Odysseus.
Yeah.
It was so long I can't even spell it. But let me ask you a question. Do you like music?
Kinda.
Do you like hip hop and rap?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know that hip hop and rap is all poetry?
I did not know that.
Did you know that some of the best hip hop artists actually are Caribbean?
Oh, ma'am.
You didn't know that? Did you know that Beyonce is a descendant of the Bahamas?
Yes, ma'am.
And all of their lyrics are poems, essentially? You're not done with writing poetry yet, cousin. I need you to write me a rap song. A rap poem.
Rap song?
Yes. Now, Miss Barr, are you... Bethany, are you working on a poetry collection? Are you going to continue writing poetry for us?
I guess so. I don't really know yet.
That's okay. That's okay. I telling you to do it, though. Keep writing.
You have to admire the honesty
Yeah.
of her saying, I guess.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk prizes. What did you win as a prize for this competition?
I won 2 trophies and some money.
Okay, I like how you didn't tell me how much money you won. I love it.
Because then you're a beggar.
Mr. Guild?
I win 2 trophies, a silver one and a bronze one, and I win $100 as the cash prize.
I already feel guilty because I was about to ask Miss Barr, Bethany, our 7-year-old grand champion, what did you win?
I won 2 trophies, a certificate, a golden jacket, and $300.
A golden jacket?
Yes, Mom.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Do
Sir.
you only wear the jacket at special occasions, or what do you wear the jacket?
It can't fit me yet, so...
You have to grow into it, eh?
But listen, you see how cold it was outside this morning? Wear that jacket. Bundle up in that. Mr. Roll.
So the jacket is like for like how golf has the green jacket?
Exactly. The jacket is called the Golden Standard Blazer. That's what we award our grand champion.
Not the Golden Fleece?
No, not the Golden Fleece. It would have the logo on the jacket of
Okay.
Bahamas Poetry Competition. It'll have the contestant's name and grand champion. So there's only 5 or 6 that's been awarded so far.
This is a prestigious
it's a
award.
Prestigious award.
I love it. Now, Miss Bethany Barr, wear your jacket to school. In the cold, just one day. I gotta. Say that?
Is somebody teach that called the police?
Absolutely. If somebody try take it, call the police and then write a poem about it and say, I know you want a jacket just like mine, but if you take my jacket, you'll have to pay a fine. I have to go to school and I have to be on time. I need my jacket. Don't play with mine. Get your own. That's a beautiful poem. Thank you. Inspired by Bethany Barr and my friend Jasnine. Jasnine from E.P. Roberts Primary School.
I want to know if they're using this money to go buy things for Christmas or what.
Right. So are you allowed to use your prize money for your Christmas gifts? Are you buying gifts for other people in your household? Or are you putting your money, your prize towards school supplies and your education?
No. She already started spending that.
You don't know yet? Good answer. Mr. Gill?
I put all my money at stuff I want and like.
Okay, and Ms. Barr?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes is the answer.
Listen,
Yes is the answer.
whoever is teaching you all money, finance in school, I love it. First rule of finance, don't talk your money business with foreigners and strangers. To my guests in studio, to the winners, to Mr. Roll, the Bahamas Poetry Competition, tell your name. I want you to give your name to the audience one more time.
Jasmine Thompson.
Jasnine Thompson from E.P. Roberts Primary School.
Mario Gilt.
Mario Gilt from E.P. Roberts Primary School. Bethany Barr from Sadie Curtis Primary School.
Grand champion, you have to say the whole thing.
Yep.
Bethany Barr, 7-year-old grand champion, youngest ever champion of the Bahamas Poetry Competition. Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the participants. You all get your pencils sharpened and your pens ready because I'm signing up for next year's competition today. I have to be in this with y'all. This is exciting. and impressive.
Next year.
You doing it again?
Yes.
That's right. My friend says she'll be there next year, Mr. Guilt. Don't make me make you feel guilty now. You coming next year?
I don't think so. I might go the year after that next year.
Yeah.
Gotta rest up, you know.
Give me a chance to win. I appreciate your grace, sir. Again, Miss Barr, Mr. Guild, Miss Thompson. Miss Thompson, thank you so much. Mr. Hannah, you ain't give us no poem. I give us a poem. Mr. Roll, thank you so much
I retired.
for hosting this event. And just before you go, contact information.
Well, you could contact me through the Facebook page, Bahamas Poetry Competition. My cell is 434-1365. You could also email me at BahamasPoetryCompetition@gmail.
At gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you very much for trying your hardest and producing such wonderful, wonderful work. Not just poems, this is work, and we congratulate you. You're tuned into Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. This is Morning Blend Business. We're going to a break, and when we get back from the break, we're going to get right into our CFAL Business Report. You guys stay tuned, 96.9 FM.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASU savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings, in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Enjoy the magic of Christmas at Nassau Cruise Port all December long. Visit Santa and his helpers at Santa's workshop for holiday photos. Enjoy Christmas caroling, wreath decorating, mixology classes, and movie marathons. And of course, come for the great concerts and holiday shopping. Nassau Cruise Port is your ultimate destination for Christmas fun. Visit NassauCruisePort.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for details. Nassau Cruise Port, the place to be.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend Business. I'm Erin Green, sitting in for Chester, who's sitting in for Mr. Dwight Strachan, and I am joining Mr. Stephen Hanna. Good morning, Mr. Hanna.
Hey.
How you do?
I'm good. Go ahead. By all means.
I'm going to delve into the Guardian Business Report and the business section. Let's start with the headline. RFP launched for Family Islands renewable microgrids. PM says this is not just an energy project, it's a blueprint for our future. Firms invited to submit their proposals by January 26th, 2024. Prime Minister Philip Davis yesterday reaffirmed his administration's goal to introduce cleaner energy generation to the Bahamas as he announced that the government is opening the bidding process globally for the construction of renewable power grids on the Family Islands. at the launch of the Family Island New Energy Generation via microgrids, clean fuel, and renewables request for proposal, Davis said the high cost of electricity is more than a line item in his government's budget. It is also a barrier to the progress and prosperity of Bahamas. Our administration was, and we're going to turn to page 2, our administration was elected to enact change, not to uphold the status quo. That's why today we take a bold step forward in transforming our energy landscape. We are launching an initiative to develop solar energy microgrids across the Family Islands, he said. Mr. Hanna, I remember a constant target proclaimed by both administrations for...
Ragged Island?
Well, Ragged Island has already been, we call it solarized, but a broader project to have, I think, 30% of New Providence solarized by 2030. Do you think 7 years
We could do that quicker than that, man.
is enough time to get the Family Islands outfitted?
Yes, because it's less of them.
It's more Family Islands than New Providence, Mr. Hanna.
Now you have to ask yourself the question. Are we talking about individual islands and landmass, or are we talking about people? Because the Bahamas is the people. Rock's saying nothing. All right? So it's less of the people there to facilitate. Because then, like, the limestone rock don't need no electricity, right? It's the people in the house. So we could definitely service them, and then this benefits us generally. People don't realize this, right? This is going to save you money in the long run in New Providence, because the way it works, you might pretend to hate socialism, but just borrow things from it. We are helping to subsidize the electricity inside the Family Islands, because if they had to pay what it was really worth in the Family Islands, they wouldn't be able to afford it, right? And that's why it wasn't until 97 that Auckland's get electricity in the first place, because they like it ain't profitable. It would be a loss of money, but you do it because it's the right thing to do, not because it's the profitable thing to do. With that said, now we have a means in which you can help them to pay. What I'm really looking forward to is when we start to bring things in that we can export out of the country. So we have different renewable, the new forms of renewable energy that are being investigated, being tried out. One is molten salt, right? Where you take the sunlight, you superheat, you use a glass to superheat salt, actual salt, till it melts. Then you put that in a thermos, essentially. And every time you need electricity, you pour water on top of the hot, melted salt.
To produce the steam.
It turns the generator. Now you got power. Well, if you go to Nagua, all they got is salt and sun. It don't ever rain in there, right? It barely has ever rained inside of Nagua. Most of the southern islands are like that. There's an opportunity for something like that to be in place there, where the biggest issue with renewable energy is the battery and not so much the wind, the light, the water.
Right, availability.
It's right, because like the sun goes away at night, the wind don't always blow, the water don't always be there. But if you could harness it when it is there and store it for when you need it, then you have a better chance of being able to use it. We have the battery technology, but it's in its raw form. And so I would love to see us investing in how can we bring things like that where we have all the components and this is not going to damage the environment by putting these constituents together. You know, that's what I'd be interested in seeing. But it's a step in the right direction. I definitely think that they could do it in 5 years. They could probably do it in 2 years if they really put a push to it. But being responsible 7 years feels like a very achievable task.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if Family Island residents can wait that long. And I'd love to see a timeline, a more substantive timeline for completion of these projects. Mayaguana, Andros, Eleuthera, Exuma are all islands that have experienced tremendous energy crises over the last 12 months minimum.
Right. And then the other question is, if we need it immediately to bring life and whatever to these islands, what role can persons who are from these islands play in helping to make that happen? because if there's an investment to be made, I want the people who are descendants of Aucklands to be making that investment so that they can also be reaping the rewards from it on the back end. All right. If we have, there's not a single family island in this country that does not have a descendant who's a millionaire. All right. We got millionaires from Auckland, millionaires from Andros, millionaires from Ragged Island and Rum Key and all these different places, but they live in Nassau and they vacation in the south of France. We need them to reinvest in the technology, in the infrastructure where they're from.
And I imagine we need a system for them to invest in, as opposed
And
to
that's where the government comes in.
just making constant donations.
Right, yeah, because the donations will go to fill the hole, but it don't go to closing the hole.
Absolutely, but maybe that takes us to our next story on the business section front page. Colby Davis, RFP, an opportunity for Bahamas to lead in sustainable energy generation. Minister of Energy and Transport Jo Beth Colby Davis said the Davis administration is calling on all world-class firms with proven experience to participate in the Family Island new energy generation via microgrids, clean fuel, and renewables request for proposal. Bidding process to provide Family Islanders with better and more affordable. The government is seeking independent firms with Bahamian involvement to produce between 30 and 50% renewable energy generation for various sites in Eleuthera, the Exumas, Long Island, the Abacos, Andros, Bimini, Rum Key, San Salvador, and the Berry Islands initially. The RFP represents a historic opportunity for the Bahamas to lead in sustainable energy generation, reduce carbon emissions, and secure a brighter future for all citizens.
Anyway, go ahead.
I was going to say that this line here, the government is seeking independent firms with Bahamian involvement.
Well, they have to. Isn't that the law?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so the next statement, I want to see an expression of what that
and how that looks.
Quantified.
Right. I don't want just Bahamians. They take out the garbage once a week. I don't want that.
Right. Or they drive the trucks.
Right. I want Bahamian ownership. And then you know what I would do? Once again, this is why Stephen is not in politics. The unpopular thing that I would do is anybody who comes into this country, you ain't getting no more concessions. All right? There's no more concessions for nobody. Nobody getting no tax breaks. Nobody getting nothing. You're paying the full price. If you feel like you can't raise that money elsewhere, we'll raise it here, but that money ain't leaving the country.
Okay.
All right? So then you need to sell shares to the Bahamian public.
Okay.
All right? And so with this thing here, where we talk about renewable energy, you have somebody say, okay, yeah, we want to do that or whatever. I don't know what the bids are yet, but I suspect that somebody's going to say, yeah, we want to do this, but we don't want to pay VAT on this, or we don't want to pay customs on this, or we don't want to pay for this line or whatever. Okay, how about this? You pay full price. What money you don't have, sell it in shares like everybody else around the world does, because that's how you get startups. You go and you say, hey, we're going to go public. This is the idea. Would you like to buy into the idea? Let persons, first the people who are from that community and from those islands, have the shares available to them. Then you can let all the rich fat cats who already own everything else inside New Providence and all the banks and all the food stores. Those people, they come in. They can buy shares. But first, let the people who live there have access to that, and then the rest us.
A text just came in. It says, energy solutions need to be customized to take advantage of the existing environment.
Yes.
Example, Inagua with molten salt. The solution needs to be practical and sustainable, though. One size fits all won't work.
Yeah.
This brings the conversation back to decentralized government as well. But your point that the people on the island need to be heavily invested in the project, whether it is from the sort of technical side, which is we understand our needs, we understand how the island works and how the...
And we don't want you to just bring a big diesel engine and drop it in the middle of the island.
Right.
In Fresh Creek and mess up the water when you could probably tap the creek for a little bit of electricity.
Another text says, all of this is highly ridiculous. We are literally surrounded by a sea of hydrogen and sodium. Dear texter, I take a moment to reveal my ignorance. Tell us, what type of Obeah chicanery are we working with? I like it.
Fuel. All of those things. Sodium, you could use to power stuff.
Yeah.
Hydrogen, hydrogen fuel is how we get rocket ships in the air, right? And oxygen, without oxygen, fire can't burn. So it's like they're all various forms of everything on this planet can burn, which is why the planet is on fire.
Mhm.
So the question is, how do you get
Harness
the
that.
energy right? Because energy, the first law is energy can't be destroyed, right?
So
it could only be transferred or changed into some other state.
Right.
And so everything is a form of energy and I mean that in the least new age way possible, but also in the most new age way possible.
Mhm.
Everything is energy. You could take anything and you could make energy out of it. It's just how are you going to do that, and what is the effect of doing that
on the planet and the
And
living
yourself.
things on the planet.
Right.
Absolutely. I think that I think that the Ministry of Energy and Transport should be partnering with the University of the Bahamas and the Sustainable Research Center there.
Mm-hmm.
And we should, as a country, offer ourselves for companies to
I've been saying that for MIT.
employ and build models here for us and other small island developing states.
Right.
And let's start with solutions for the energy crisis.
Right, because you have people, the MIT are the ones who are working on these batteries, trying to figure out a new way to get a battery that isn't going or on the table or anything.
Yes.
All right? The University of the Bahamas could invite these people down. The Bahamas government could invite these people down. You have these small enough, what they call, I forget what the term is, but basically something, if it's scalable.
Mhm.
All right? And we have a number of islands where it's like, it's only a handful of people here. If you could figure it out here, then we could scale up.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's one of our greatest gifts to the world. We should be a center for model creation. Not the necessary testing, but for model
Testing
creation.
technology.
Well, let's switch to another type of story. Definitely a positive story in the business section on page 2. Scotiabank commits $75,000 to support the 2023-2024 Junkanoo celebrations. Scotiabank to be the exclusive sponsor of the 2023 Junior Junkanoo Parade. Scotiabank is thrilled to announce a partnership with the National Junkanoo Committee in conjunction with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture for the upcoming 2023-2024 Junkanoo Parade. Scotiabank's sponsorship of $75,000 in partnership with MasterCard set the stage for the first ever Scotiabank People's Choice Junkanoo Practice Parade, which took place on Thursday, November 30th, as a part of the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony.
Let me tell you something, all right?
Yeah, because
I need to talk to Kermit after the show, because Chester pitched an idea to him and he said, "Yeah, man, we doing that." But then in the brief bit that I overheard of that conversation, I realized that there's a lot of money being left on the ground, and and like part of me feels bad because I feel like I should share it to the public first.
Yeah.
So I can tell Kermit first before I announce it. It's like how I know the perfect setup to win 3 Junkanoo back to back.
Okay, because here's the idea that popped up for me just now.
Go ahead.
Right? Lots of, not just money on the ground in Junkanoo, lots of energy expended, right? And we're
Ain't no
talking
wasting
about
one.
we're talking about developing new models, right?
Yeah.
What if we incentivize Junkanoo groups to incorporate an energy generation model in their parade, right? Like, you can attach a small machine to your stationary bicycle, and you could power your TV while you cycling.
Right.
Right? What if we could?
They're allowed to do it if they have, oh my goodness, sorry, the idea now, I got to call Angelique. But it's like,
Write the ideas down. So look at what this is what Little Children Energy does, This is what Champion Energy does. It just gets the juices flowing. But imagine that a Junkanoo group, that you could register the amount of energy that they produce on their parade, right? And then
that would be an interesting study because you could either measure it in calories, which is you can still transfer to joules. So it's like there's a way to measure it. There's a way to measure the amount of energy expended.
And what if some of these rolling costumes, right? I've seen people who have bicycles as a part of their costume?
Right.
What if there was an energy generation machine on their costumes, on their parts, and the group that produced the most amount of energy?
You know what I would like? I would like for the Junkanoo Corporation to have a separate parade and have it as a technology parade, because right now what we do is we limit the amount of mechanics and stuff that people are allowed to do. But imagine if you say y'all allowed whoever could move the biggest thing, the easiest and the quickest down Bay Street, win the prize. Now suddenly you could take that and employ that in technology.
Yeah.
Because now if you can figure out a way to move something that's essentially the size of a jitney with just human power, now you could change the way that public transportation works inside the Bahamas.
Absolutely, it's the foundation. It's the foundation, and it then you create a space where Junkanoo is not just a real part of our lives; it's a real part of our everyday life.
Right, it really would become culture, because culture ain't
Mr.
what
Hanna,
you say it is.
we're all out of time. I'm going to tell
I was gonna
Mr.
borrow your
Strachan,
time, but go ahead.
don't ever do this again, because we cannot have a HHT club in the morning. It's just lone ideas. And I want to say to you, Mr. Hanna, thank you so much this morning.
And I'm going to leave you now. I think your people are coming. So I thought you were reading off something, or are we in your time? Or you just going to switch over to
No. I'm ending the show.
Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you to you. I wanted to say it's been a great HHT hour. Right. The ideas were flowing. Right. It's great to spend this time with you, as I said, in for Mr. Dwight Strachan this morning.
Oh, you're sitting in for Chester, sitting in
for Dwight. With you.
Right.
And then in honor of our guest, the Bahamas Poetry Competition, I want to remind you to submit to the Poinciana Paper Press call for work, Anthology.
Yes.
Where we examine.
When is the deadline? Please remind us.
I have to get the deadline, and I'll have it for you hopefully before the end of my hour, which is coming up next.
Please.
I want to say thank you to the audience for tuning in, staying tuned this morning segment. But I hope you enjoyed, like we enjoyed, the work and contributions from the youngest people in the studio this morning, the winners from the Bahamas Poetry Competition 2023.
All right.
Thank you. This has been Morning